Test, 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 test.
Yep.
Okay, let's go here. It's 1843.
Test, test, test. Check, check, check. Okay. Welcome in, everybody, to our game of the week. It's week 2 here with Region 10 football. We are at Dixie High School Flyer Field as the Flyers taking on the Riverton Silver Wolves. Kid and Formaster Keith Curtis with you on the broadcast tonight. How you doing, Keith?
Good, Caden. How we doing tonight?
We're doing fantastic. This game being broadcast today on St. George News Radio 93.1 in St. George. And also online, if you go to foxsportssu.com, or you can also go to region10sports.tv. You can watch this game live as well. We have the live stream going on right now. Players just warming up on the field. A little bit of a lightning delay, but I think they kind of got us back on track now as the clouds have started to disperse a little bit around here. So it's not so bad.
Yeah, the football gods have said, hey, no delays tonight. We're parting the skies. The rains fell a little bit, but the team from Salt Lake, Riverton, they've come down. They're ready to roll, and it's going to be a great ball game tonight.
It is going to be a fantastic ball game tonight. I think, according to the weather, it's supposed to hold out, so that'll be helpful if it can hold out. But we're grateful for you joining us tonight as we launch into our Findlay Subaru pregame show. Thank Findlay Subaru for being one of our sponsors here for the pregame. They've done something pretty cool. They teamed up with Candy Media, and we're accepting school supplies, donations for kids in the area as they are going back to school. So you could stop by Findlay Subaru and take some donations in for some school kids that would be in need. So it's a good thing that they're doing over there.
Oh, yeah, it's great. In fact, now's the perfect time with school just starting. If you got a few things just hanging around that you could donate, swing on into Findlay, and they'll love to take it from you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's hop on in to this Findlay Subaru pregame show with talking about the home team. Let's talk about Dixie, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Dixie, they had a rough go last week in the opening week. They played a really, really good Springville Flyer team from Utah County, and in fact, Springville lost in the semifinals last year, so of the 5A division. And they look really good for this year as well.
They do. They looked really good. Very similar score to what we saw last year in the opener of the season when Dixie went up to Springville. I mean, I think we're only just a couple points differential on what that originally looked like. So that is pros and cons. Cons, they lost the game. That hurts for the RPI. That's tough for that. You don't want to see an L on your schedule anywhere. But a positive that this gives us is the fact that last year Dixie went to the championship game, and they obviously had a very similar outcome to Springville in week 1 as we saw here from last year to this year. So hope isn't gone for Dixie at all. It's week 1. That's in the past. Keep moving forward and got to just win some games.
Yeah, they do. That's really, they got to just focus on tonight and moving forward. Last year's group was last year's group. It was pretty heavy senior laden as far as the team goes last year, and so they had some really strong leadership that was on this team. And this year's team, they're still trying to figure out a few things as far as, who's going to be the real leaders for them, and that's why they play the tough preseason schedule, is to really weed that out. And I know that the coach here at Dixie really likes to just see how the kids respond under fire, and it really builds character as they move into the region play.
It really does, and with the region schedule going to be coming up here sooner than later, there's only 3 preseason games. It's important to figure out your game here in the first 3 games of the season. Now, this will be in week 2 against Riverton. Next week, though, Dixie will go on to play against Palm Desert, which is a California team. So they'll have a little bit of a drive. I think it's in Victorville, if I remember right. They played them last season. I want to say that's a Victorville team, but I could be wrong. They're going to open up region play against Pineview. It's going to be a home game right here at Flyer Field where we're at right now. And that one I think should be a good game. Pineview definitely took a step back from last year. They've had to kind of hit rebuild mode a little bit, as a lot of their starters are going off. The starters from last year, so should say, are going off to play some D1 ball all across the country.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they definitely lost a lot of talent. Some of them going to play D1 football. Some of them going to play some college baseball as well. I mean, they've got guys all over the place from Pineview. So, again, kind of a rebuild mode for them coming up on Friday, September 9th. But back to this game where we're at tonight, I mean, really, you still need to take it one game at a time, right?
You really do. And, this is going to be a pretty tough challenge for the Flyers tonight. I'm not going to lie to you home folks, but Riverton's got some big dudes. We've been watching them line up, and you look at them, on paper, they got 8 or 9 guys that are 280 and heavier. I mean, and when you look at them on the field, too, they definitely look the part. They look like they can get after and want to scrap it up a little bit. So it's going to be a challenge up front, I think, for the Flyers. But the Dixie has enough speed and things to counter that size. I think it's going to make for a real fun evening.
I think it will, too. There's a lot of players that I'm curious to see how they do this season. Some that are coming back from last season doing well, some newbies as well. All across the board, there's a lot of guys that I'm excited to see what they can pull off, what their play's like as they're out there warming up right now. One of those is a guy that just barely took taking some reps out there that I see out there is Seth Takau. I'm curious to see how he plays tonight because he's kind of been one of their Swiss Army knives in a way. They put him in a lot of positions.
Yeah, they really do. Seth was a key part of that team last year, played a lot of integral roles as far as where they could plug and play him, and he's really a good athlete for the Flyers. Caden, just to kind of give you some ideas of how I think Dixie could attack this Riverton team is last week Riverton gave up only 55 yards rushing, but in the air, they played Syracuse last week. They gave up almost 400 yards passing.
Right. That's a big deal. You don't want to be giving up that many. That's an insane amount of yards. They still did end up winning that game, so you got to realize, they came out with a W, but that should be a little bit of a red flag going off for Dixie saying, hey, maybe we can find a weakness with this team.
Oh, I definitely think, after watching the film, you can find holes in their defense, and then they can mix in the run just to keep them honest up front. And, it should be a fun evening. I expect that, Dixie they scored 14 points last week. I expect them to score a lot more tonight and make this a really interesting game.
I think so, too. I think it can be very interesting to see what happens here. So lots to look forward to from this game. Should we take a break from our pregame show real quick and hop back on the other side in just a bit from the Findlay Subaru pregame show? Minute and a half. We'll be right back. Welcome back in here to Flyer Field on St. George News Radio. It's Caden Formaster, Keith Curtis, broadcasting this Dixie Flyers and Riverton Silverwolves football game tonight. Make sure to catch us right here on St. George News Radio, or you can go and watch the game on a video stream. Head on over to foxsportssu.com. Follow the links over there. Head on over to Region 10 Sports.tv and check out those games. There's going to be a couple games going on tonight. Of course, ours here at Dixie and across town at Desert Hills. Desert Hills is taking on Cedar Valley tonight. That game is also heard on Fox Sports Southern Utah, which is 99.5 or 95.3 in St. George. So thanks for tuning in with us on this game, though, here at Dixie High School. Good matchup that we're quite excited about as we're halfway through our Findlay Subaru pregame show. But we want to hop on in to our keys to the game here. Brought to you by Red Rock Auto Sales. Red Rock, you can find them on South Bluff, the largest selection of trucks in southern Utah. Keith, what do you have as one of your keys to the game tonight?
Well, I think for Dixie, there's a couple of keys that I'm going to really be watching. The first one is how do they tackle? They don't want to give up any big plays to Riverton. Make the simple tackles that they can make, keep the players down, and stay away from those big yards after the catch type gains. The other thing is they got to stop the run. Last week they gave up 370 yards rushing to Springville, so they're going to want to really focus on those two things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like we're about to head into our national anthem, so we will hop right back into our Red Rock Auto Sales keys to the game once the national anthem has wrapped up and we take this moment to recognize our country and our flag. So give us a moment here for a break, and we'll be back with you on the other side in just a bit.
Did I see DeCow is not dressed? He's in Levi's.
Back, everybody, here to Flyer Field. Things getting ready to get started here between the Flyers and the Riverton Silverwolves. It's Caden Formaster and Keith Curtis. Keith, let's hop back into our we kind of got started with it, but let's wrap up our Red Rock Auto Sales keys to the game.
Yeah, as I mentioned for Dixie, there's two things they really need to focus on, and that is tackling. They got to be sure tacklers tonight, and they got to stop the run. And I think the opportunities are going to come through the air against this Riverton team, so they're going to have to execute really well in the passing game. As for Riverton, last week, their strength is passing the ball. They passed for 225 yards, or 225 yards against Syracuse, but Dixie only gave up 82 passing yards to Springville. So if Dixie's defense can shut down that passing game, it's going to, really limit what Riverton can do. So it'll be important for Riverton to find some holes in that Dixie defense and soften it up. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. There's the strengths and weaknesses of both clubs through 1 week.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I'm looking at is one thing that you kind of already talked about as a coin toss going on at center field right now, but the passing defense from Riverton in the last game wasn't so hot. So how can the Flyers take advantage of it? I know that they haven't been much of a passing team so far in this season from game 1, but what can they do here in game 2? Can they get some of that rolling? And if so, maybe that might be one of their saving graces on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think that after watching the film and knowing the history they played last year, Dixie has an idea of how Riverton's scheme is going to be on defense. They'll have a few trick plays I'll bet that they're going to throw out there. But basically, they want to really refine what they're doing on offense because they didn't get much going as far as offensively goes last week, and so that's what my guess is they're going to really focus on. Yeah,
for sure. That's definitely something that we need to kind of look forward to, right? Let's talk about defensively a little bit. If Dixie can kind of hold back a little bit, specifically on one guy that I want to talk about who's been really, really good is Easton Hicks. Easton Hicks has kind of been all over the board in the first game. He had in the 140s in yards in just kick returns in the last game.
He's definitely got some speed. The other guy you got to look out for from Riverton, he got 2 touchdowns last week. That's Sam Woolley. He's number 13.
Yeah.
He had 4 catches for 101 yards, so just over 25 yards a pop. So they're going to have to watch that. But, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Dixie. Trevin Aldridge, number 44 on defense. He had 17 tackles last week against Springville. Just a monster game. And then Braden Wilson had 14 tackles, number 6. So a couple of shout-outs to those guys on defense. But, those are some players that we're definitely going to want to watch tonight as the game unfolds. As the Dixie Flyers are taking the field right now, things are about to kick off here just shortly.
Yep, in just a little bit. So we appreciate you joining us on this matchup. It's going to be a fun one. So coin toss is away. I'll be honest, I was looking at notes. I didn't even see what it is. Did you get a glance at what's going on down there?
Yeah, it looked, if I remember right, it looked like I thought Dixie won the toss and deferred. So I think Riverton's going to get it first, but I could be wrong. Okay, and I was looking at my notes too. I was just peeking up a little bit too. So
yeah.
You need 2 or 3 different sets of eyes. Sure.
I know. That's the problem with doing some of these broadcasts is we're too busy looking down, But by the looks of it,
I think Dixie's going to get it first.
It looks like Dixie's getting it first, so it's a good sign.
So never mind me making up who I think was going to get it, right?
I know, right?
Well, one other player to keep your eye or for you at home listening, number 21, Wyatt Brown for Riverton. He had 10 tackles on defense last week. He was all over the field making tackles. So, there's quite a few. Yeah, it's only 1 week, but man, anytime you have over 10 tackles or more, that's pretty impressive.
Back to receive for the Flyers, number 33 is Junior Coughlin, looks like, if that is correct. Number 7, Dave Hollings. It was the number I have, unless that's also wrong. They said that they've updated some rosters around here, but I know that's not Dave because I know Dave. We'll see if we can get it figured out, but here we go, number 33. On the return.
Fumble.
Takes it out, fumbles it. Around the 25. Let's see who ends up coming up with that one.
Yeah, Dixie ended up falling on top of that one. That could have been disastrous right there on the opening kickoff, is to see that ball on the turf. But
Well, none of my rosters are actually updated to the current team's numbers, but we'll just pretend that was Junior Coughlin, shall we?
It'll make it a little bit of a challenge then, won't it?
Yep. Jalen Schultz, quarterback. Next to him, you have Jeff Christian. Had quite the season last year at back. It's going to be handed off, taken across as Jackson Barbin. He cuts inside. He's going to go pretty far for it, inside for a first down and a little bit more. Let's give him 13 yards on that run, shall we?
Yeah, it's just a wide receiver handoff that Dixie loves to run that play. If you remember Mitchell from last year, he ran that to perfection all the time. But Barbin, he found a little crease and found 13 yards, and great way to start the game.
Absolutely. Getting set here on another first down. Flyers set. Again, another handoff back to Barbin. Barbin cuts inside. He fumbles it. It's outside. It's picked up by Riverton.
Boy, what a great play. That was number 33 for Riverton. That's Chaz Hinckley, the defensive lineman. Barbin went to cut it back inside, and he just poked it out of there with his left hand, and Riverton was right there to fall on it. So there you go, first big turnover of the game.
We'll get used to saying his name, Chaz Hinckley. Last game he had an interception and was leading tacklers for the defense for Riverton. So good defensive play there by the Silverwolves to take over in Flyer territory for a first down. Quarterback for the Silverwolves is Jake Myers. Myers, hands off, running for it is Easton Hicks. Gets quite a ways down, about 5-yard gain.
Yeah, that's Riverton's just lining up like old school football. They've got one back and double tight ends. They're just trying to utilize their size. And right there, you just see they pushed him right down. He got 6 yards right off the pop.
Getting set for second down here at the 32-yard line. Myers going under center. Not into the gun as, again, hands it off up the middle.
Oh, what a great
And taken down, Easton Hicks. Gets chopped down by a couple Flyers.
That was Jacob Dabrowski, the middle linebacker. He just saw the hole and shot through the gap and took the legs out that time of the running back and stopped him for no gain.
So third down now, 5 to go. Kind of 4.5 to go, really.
Giving him a half yard on that.
Yeah, we'll give him a half. 4.5. The board says 4. It looks like kind of closer to 5. We'll give him 4.5. In the gun this time, Myers takes the snap. He's going to look to pass, looking to his left, gets it across to the middle. It's picked up and fumbled into the hands of the Flyers. It is. Are they going to say it was incomplete, or are they saying it's Flyer ball?
No, that's
They're
Flyer
saying
ball.
it's Flyer ball, as it should be.
Yeah, he definitely caught the ball. That was Garrett Gibbons on the little curl route. He had the first down, tried to get extra yardage, and Dixie did a great job just stripping the ball out. Went right into the Flyers' hands, and here we go back the other way.
Now, who was that picked it up?
I think that was number 9.
Number 9.
Christopher
Atkinson, very good. So 2 turnovers in this game so far. Still scoreless, nothing. 0-0 here with 9:55 left to go in the first. Again, another 1st and 10 here for the Flyers.
Boy, what a huge break for the Dixie defense there.
In motion. It's a handoff. Nope, fake handoff. He ran for it. Schultz gets down a few yards close to the 20-yard line, just shy of it.
Yeah, that time they tried to fake the fly sweep that time. Schultz kept it. There was a big hole up first, but it closed quickly as those linebackers closed in quickly there.
It was Gage Watt for the Silverwolves who came in and closed that gap. Schultz puts Barbin in motion. Hands off to Barbin on a sweep. Barbin cuts in. Wrapped up by Wyatt Brown for no gain.
He's going to actually lose a yard, I think, on that one. That was great defense. That time, Riverton strung it out. Their defensive end didn't go for the fake and just strung that play all the way to the sideline almost, and a great recovery by the defense to stop him a yard short on that play.
So 3rd down, 7 to go for the Flyers. So they get set back up inside their own 20. Schultz looking to pass. Gets one off. Has Christian, who gets the first down plus plenty more.
Yeah, that was just a great read that time by Schultz. He found Christian slipping out of the backfield on a little out route, and the coverage for Riverton, they had dropped really deep on that one and allowed him to pick up the first down.
Replays on the other device.
So Dixie getting across the field a little bit, still well within their own territory, set up at the 32-yard line. The Flyers took advantage there on 3rd down. Barban goes in motion. Handoff, though, to Christian. He's going to rush right up the middle. Good gain as he falls forward for a solid gain of about 5, maybe 6. They put him at 5.
Yeah, just a nice job that time by Christian. He found the little crease, and the Flyer line up front did enough job doing their jobs, just finding enough of a little hole there, and Christian picked up 6 tough yards.
Back at it now for 2nd down. 5 to go. Barban in motion. Schultz keeping it himself. He finds a little bit of a gap, rushes through, finally taken down by a whole pack of Silver Wolves. But not before he gets 2 yards past that first down line to gain.
Yeah, that time it was just a great job by Schultz. He was able to elude big number 69, that Falatau for Riverton. He's about 6'4", 280. He just put a little juke on him and left him in the dust.
Just getting the sauce a little bit there, huh?
Yeah. Got a little slippery.
Yeah. Schultz, again, in the gun. Silverwolves jumping on that one. That was, again, number 69 right there.
Yeah, that's Falatau. He's trying to probably make up for that, but now they're saying, well, maybe Dixie brought him off.
Maybe they dropped a head or something, huh? Let's see what the official says.
Yep, they're going to move him against Riverton.
Yeah, against Riverton. I mean, from what we saw, it looked like that was the correct call.
Yeah, I agree.
So that'll push it to put the ball on their own 49 for 1st and 5. Handoff to Christian. Christian sweeps across the right side, tries to cut inside, but taken down right back at that original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a nice play that time by the free safety. That's number 28. That's Derek Ratliff. He came flying up there. He's just a young sophomore, but he came flying up from that spot and brought Christian down right at the line to gain.
So the Flyers will set back up for 2nd down, still with 5 to go. Scoreless still here in the first quarter, as we're just about halfway through. Flyers down and set. Schultz takes the snap, hands off. Tried to rush inside, but taken down in the backfield.
Boy, that was just great penetration that time by the Riverton Silverwolves defense. They kind of did a run blitz that time. The middle linebackers were filling the gaps, and there was nowhere to run. They got no leverage on those 2 big boys up front, Dixie, and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, so Christian loses a yard on that one, and that'll bring up 3rd down again. Do the Flyers go for a pass here? They got it again on last time on about 3rd and 7. Here they are again on 3rd and 6. Back to pass. Schultz, he's got all the time in the world. Gets the pass away.
Got him open.
He's got a guy open. He's going down to the 10-yard line. Now, again, it's marked as Dave Hollins, but I know that's not Dave. Dave's out there. I think he's wearing number 11 today. So we need to get an updated home roster. But
we're going to call him Dave Hollins tonight.
Should we just call him Dave?
What a huge gain. Number 7 for the Flyers. He slipped behind the defensive coverage that time, and as you mentioned, Schultz had all the time in the world, and he finally picked him up and hit him for a nice 35-yard gain.
So now the Flyers well into the red zone. Another handoff sweeping across is Barban, who takes it down right back around that 10-yard line. Just a slight gain on this one, a couple yards.
Yeah, that time Barban went on the fly sweep to the left side. He was able to avoid the first Riverton defender and was able to sneak in to get an extra yard out of it to gain 1 yard on the play.
I'm going to say that's David Bartschy, Bartschhi. Taking it, Christian, all the way in for a touchdown. It's not official from the officials, but did they give it to him?
Yeah, they gave it to him.
All right.
Yeah, great job up front by the Dixie line. They just made a little crease, and Christian hit it hard, put his head down, and waltzed right into the end zone. So what a great job by the Dixie offense responding off of that turnover, driving it almost 90 yards for the score.
Put 6 points on the board now with 5:23 left to go. Dixie now with a little bit of the lead. Here's the kick. And the kick is good.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Vargas, the kicker for Dixie. He was perfect last week, and he keeps that streak going on the year. So there you go, 7-0.
Not too bad, huh? Not too bad.
Great way to start that first quarter for the Flyers.
Absolutely. With that, we'll take a minute break right here on St. George News Radio. Be back with you on the other side in just a bit.
The clouds in the sky seem less noticeable than the cloud connected to your phone. Data is quickly becoming the new currency in our society, and all the information you or your business can hold is priceless. So why not store it, secure it, and protect it? That's where we come in. Our job is to assist you in ways that help you to facilitate your business. Tonic Data Center redefines the meaning of data protection. Located in the disaster-safe zone of St. George, Utah, we have created a faster, friendlier, and more secure way to connect to you.
Welcome back here to Flyer Field. Dixie Flyers getting ready to kick off. Well, they tried to already, but flag came out real quick.
Yeah, they got a little excited. They're like, hey, we got a lead. This is our first lead of the year, and just got a little excited on the special teams there. That's all right. That just shows good enthusiasm.
That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Christian on the score there puts the Flyers up 7-0 against the Silver Wolves. So with that, Flyers get their first lead, I think, of the entire season.
Yep. That's first lead they've had. Like I mentioned, they had a rough go last week against Springville, so it's good to get on the board.
Here's the kick. Good bomb of a kick, especially after losing some yardage.
That was almost 9 yards deep in the end zone.
That was a great kick.
It must be those teal green cleats he's got on.
Maybe. Easton Hicks was back to receive, and he had to take a few steps back and lost it behind his head. So, man, I got to give some props there to the kicker, huh?
Yeah, great kick.
That's solid.
I'm telling you, it's got to be in those shoes.
It's got to be, right? All right, Silver Wolves getting set. Handoff, fake handoff, keeping it himself, sliding in. It's Jake Myers.
Yeah, that's a great play that time by I think that, like you said, Myers. Is that who? Myers was the quarterback. Sorry.
Yep.
That was Jacob Dabrowski for Dixie, the outside linebacker. He didn't go for the fake faked you out. They thought he gave it away. But he had a little bit of room there, but it closed down quickly as Dabrowski just scraped off the left side and brought him down. Actually lost a yard on that one.
So Silver Wolves getting set back here. Jake Myers, this time he does hand it off to Easton Hicks. Tripped up a little bit, stays on his feet before he's finally taken down. On the tackle there is number 38, Dombrowski again.
Well, there's a whole host of Dixie Flyer defensive players there that time. They flowed really well to the short boundary, and after picking up about 4 tough yards, that's what you like to see when you're a defensive coordinator, when there's more than 5 or 6 guys on a tackle like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Silverwolves getting set again here as Myers in the gun. The officials calling the play dead. Let's see what they, they're asking one of the Silverwolves to, a little bit of a uniform adjustment. That's number 23 there, Sam Woolley.
Has he got something on his jersey or something?
Something. They sub in Jaron Phillips for him at that receiver. Stepping back to pass, scrambling out to the left side. Sidearm pass, gets it dumped off to Luke Perry.
Boy, what a great catch by Perry. For those of you at home, that time I'm getting mixed up. That was Perry rolling to his left. He threw sidearm back behind, and Myers stuck the one hand out and was able to make a great catch for a gain of 6 for a first down.
Yeah, that's a U first down. U First Credit Union is your first choice for a credit union here in Southern Utah. You can find them on North Bluff Street. Under the center, handoff again, going right up the middle with it strong, and finally taken down after about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, that's just a power run right there. Great job by time by Perry to avoid the first initial Dixie Flyer tackler, and then was able to pick up, like you said, 9 yards off that right side.
So still 7-0 here on the scoreboard with 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Second down, give him 2 yards to go. So let's give him 8 on that carry, shall we?
I gave him 9 on the stat sheet.
There you go. Jake Myers getting back under center. Takes a handoff and wrapped up early, brought down again was Luke Perry.
Yeah, great penetration. You also had number 44, Trevin Aldridge there. Kesterson was there. Great job by the defense, just flowing to the hole there.
All right, here goes Silverwolves again. Short to gain, handoff back. Can he get enough for it? I think he does. That's Luke Perry again on the handoff. I think it's just enough for that first down.
Yeah.
Yep, there they go. The Whitecap official says, let's move it on. Another U first down.
Boy, that was a nice play that time by the young freshman, Junior Coughlin. He came up from that corner spot. Just about made the stop there in time to hold him to a punt, but they just got the nose of the ball across the first down marker.
So here we go again for a first down in the gun. Going to hand it off, this time to Hicks. Hicks gets wrapped up and taken down just after a yard to gain, so give him second down and 9.
That was Tatua Taloa that time, number 28 in on the tackle, as well as number 44, Trevin Aldridge. We're going to call those two guys' names a lot tonight.
I believe so. I think you're right about that. Getting set here for second down, 9 to go again. Snap. Myers rolling out to his left. Keeps it himself and gets knocked out of bounds right about at the line to gain. So bring up third down with just a minute left on the clock in the first quarter. 7-0 on the scoreboard. Dixie currently leading this one.
Boy, that was great defense that time. It was a coverage, almost a coverage sack that time. None of the Silverwolves receivers could get open, and then Braden Wilson came from that outside linebacker spot and pushed him out for a half a yard loss. So great defensive stand right there.
Third down. Give them 10 to go. Let's see what the Silverwolves can pull off here. Myers takes a snap. He's looking to pass. A little bit of a overthrown pass there. I'm surprised there wasn't no flag because there's a little block in the back there towards the end of the rush by one of the defense.
Boy, that
One
was
of the
just
defensive members there.
misplaced a little bit by Logan Dunfield, number 11. It was a great route combination. They flooded the wide side of the field. They did a couple of receivers, one high, one low, and Dunfield just jumped a little too soon, or else he would have been able to bring that in for first down. But there you go. They've held him. Dixie has, and now they'll get the ball back.
So with 53 on the clock, Riverton going to punt this one away here. And that's Luke Perry punting this one away. Bounces out of bounds around the 25, put him at 30 actually.
Yeah, that's great field position for Dixie. You know, especially after the last drive, they went all the way down from about the 12-yard line. So they'll take the 30-yard line compared to the 12.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you would any day, right?
Well, I'm impressed. So far the Dixie defensive line has held up pretty strong against the Silver Wolves' offensive line, and they're definitely outsized up front. But I'm impressed with how they're getting around and scraping around those big guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Barbin's going to take the handoff on a sweep. He's going to cut inside. Gets about 5 yards on that one. That's Jackson Barbin on the rush.
Boy, that's their bread and butter play. It looks like tonight they probably ran that same play probably about 7-8 times already tonight.
Well, they ran that one a lot last year. Do you remember that game against Pineview? I don't remember if you were broadcasting that one or not, but Pineview was kind of the team to beat, and that's what they ran was a sweep every single play, and that's just kind of how they worked their way downfield. So it's definitely a common play in the playbook as Christian takes this one for about a yard gain.
Yeah, I think you and Mark were on the call for that one, but I remember you guys coming back into the office saying, man, I couldn't believe how they just opened up the defense by running those fly sweeps and, you know, really spreading that big. Because Pineview had a lot of big guys up front, too. I remember. That's impressive.
Yep. Brings up the end of the first quarter here at Flyer Field. The Flyers lead this one 7-0. We'll take a break 1 minute and be right back with you on the other side here on St. George News Radio. Into this one, the Dixie Flyers leading 7-0 as we head into the second quarter. It's Caden Formaster, Keith Curtis on the broadcast here on St. George News Radio. The Flyers in control of the ball. Back to pass and just low towards the feet of, I believe that's Mason Kesterson. Yeah, Mason Kesterson, tight end for the Flyers.
Boy, that's unfortunate for the Flyers there. Kesterson was wide open on just a little 5-yard out and up, and he probably would have picked up a first down if Schultz could have got the ball up, but he skipped it into him. Well, here comes your guy, the speedy one, number 25, Jarius Parker.
Jarius Parker, he's doing quite well this season. Or Jay Parker, as they call him as well. This is a pretty good punt again.
Punt.
Picks this one up at about the 13.
That's
out past the 25 to the 30. Finally, I was going to say finally wrapped up, but he slips past it down to the 40 on the other side. Can they get him wrapped up and taken down? Finally do at the 25-yard line. What a return by Jay Parker of the Riverton Silverwolves.
My goodness, Caden, that was almost a 65-yard punt. Beautiful spiral in the air, and Parker just backpedals to the 10-yard line and eludes a couple tacklers. Next thing you know, he's breaking tackles, and he must have stepped out because I thought he got farther down than the 25.
I thought so, too.
Boy, he's electric. You get the ball in his hands,
They put him down at the 25, just shy of the red zone, but it is a U first down regardless. So good field position, starting field position here for the Silver Wolves.
Boy, you talk about flipping the field just with one play
You're
right there.
telling me, huh?
My goodness.
Myers under center. He rolls back, fakes the handoff, looks to pass, gets it out across. Does he have his guy? He does, but steps out of bounds. Not before he brings in the catch. That's
Mason Dunfield.
Mason Dunfield, number 14.
Yeah, he's a young sophomore, but Dunfield, he had a couple of grabs last week too. He's averaging 15 yards a catch, and it looks like there may be a penalty as the referee and the umpire discussion.
And it's going to go against ineligible receiver downfield. I think they said it was against number 65.
Boy, Myers did a great job rolling out and just finding him open. And unfortunately, if you're a Silver Wolves, I don't know why I struggle saying that.
Silver Wolves, huh?
If you're a Riverton fan, that's an unfortunate break right there because that pulls it. You would have had the ball down there inside the 10-yard line.
That's Braxton Dowsett who was called for ineligible receiver downfield, but that'll bring up 1st and 15 from the 30 for the Silver Wolves. Jake Myers in the gun. He's got Luke Perry right next door to him on his left side. 7-0. Dixie still leads this one, even though Riverton is close. He's looking to pass. Gets it across right up the middle. Open, but right over the top of him. Just needed to bring that down again. Mason Dunfield, he stretched for that one, just not quite enough.
Boy, Myers, if he could take that back, all he had to do was set his feet for a little, maybe a half second longer, and drilled it in there, he would have walked into the end zone. He was wide open.
He had him.
Yeah.
He had him wide open. You're right.
I mean, Christopher Atkinson, he was right behind him on the coverage, but he was a good 2 yards away.
Now, don't forget to join us at halftime for our Rally Stop halftime show. We're going to be heading into the studio to talk to Connor Collins as well and get his thoughts on what's going on here at this game. So make sure to tune into the Rally Stop halftime show. This one, direct snap to Easton Hicks. He takes it across the 25, finally wrapped up out of bounds. And that's Jacob Dombrowski again who brings him out of bounds.
Yeah, we've called Dombrowski's name quite a few times already in this first half. And that they just did the Wildcat that time, went right straight to the running back, and he picked up about almost 10 yards on the play.
So here we go for a third down, about 5 to go for the Silver Wolves. They did. They're at that 20-yard line. That's red zone territory. This one handed off, wrapped up a little bit by Dombrowski. Big hit. Wow. Helmet goes flying. Luke Perry loses his helmet, and no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down.
That was Junior Coughlin again coming up from the DB spot. He's only a sophomore. Dombrowski
kind of wrapped him up, but then the big hit coming over.
Coughlin just laid the lumber on that play. What a great double tackle by those two.
So on a 4th down, they're going to look for a field goal here. Here's the kick, and is it enough? That's good. Just snuck it in. So now 7-3 here with the Flyers lead. We'll take another quick minute break. Be back with you on the other side in just a bit here on St. George News Radio. Coming out of our Fabulous Freddy's Fabulous timeout, head on over to Fabulous Freddy's, voted best in Southern Utah. Now remember, their location over on Bluff Street now has Ike's Sandwiches, so make sure to stop on by, and you can also get yourself sodas, cookies, everything in their drive-thru as well. So Fabulous Freddy's, stop on by.
Love me a nice Ike's sandwich.
Oh, nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
Myers setting up under center on this one. Takes it back, fakes a handoff, looks to pass, rush is coming, gets the pass away, has to throw it out of bounds.
Boy, that's almost got to be grounding. There's nobody there.
There's no one there.
I'm a little surprised that they did not throw a flag on that. Of course, he was outside the tackle box, so or outside of the end. So,
but that was a defensive end, Anthony Crichton, that was coming over real quick to try to put some pressure on Myers.
Yeah, that was great pressure, as you mentioned, by Christian. Just getting rid of it quickly. Myers did, or else he would have avoided the sack.
Myers gets set back up for second down, 2nd and 10. Hands this one off. Perry takes it up, finally taken down after a pretty good gain. Dombrowski there on the tackle. Gets into the red zone right around that 19-yard line.
I'm a little surprised they don't do that more, Caden. Just line up and try to smash it, because they've got more,
They got some power in the running game.
And their backs run hard. And
Luke Perry is 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. That's a big 6 foot tall kid.
Yeah, and you got 6'3", 6'4", and 260 plus up front.
Takes a snap from under center, hands off again to Perry. Perry evades one tackle, but takes it back down for about a 2-yard gain.
Boy, what a great play by Dombrowski that time.
Is he good enough for the first down?
It's real close.
It's real close.
Dombrowski shot through the gap, actually had him stop before the line to gain, and unfortunately bounced off of him. You don't see that very often, Dombrowski. He's a heck of a tackler, and there you go. He got just enough for the first down.
Well, they're going to bring out the chains, aren't they? Oh, no, they just said to move him down. Never mind, they're not bringing out the chains. They said just slide him on over. It's good.
Give him the first down.
About a half a yard, maybe just a foot. We'll give him a foot past that first down mark.
Yeah, I'd say about the football length is about it.
So Jake Myers, again, going to set up under center here. Myers looking to get Flyers off sides. It looks like they do.
Yeah, Dixie looked like had a run blitz called, but they got a little too anxious that time. They're going to give them Riverton about 5 extra yards and make this one a little bit easier for them.
With 7:47 on the clock, Flyers leading this one 7-3.
Well, if Dixie could manage somehow keeping them to 3 points here, that would be a huge win for them.
Oh, absolutely. Myers back under center. Takes the snap, hands this one off to Perry. Perry wrapped up pretty quickly, but might have enough to gain. I don't know if he does. I think he gets right back to that line to gain, and that'll just bring up 2nd and 5.
They tried to run the old Washington Redskins counter trap play that time, and those big linemen pulled around, and the linebacker for Dixie just filled right behind him and met him right in the hole. What a great play.
So 2nd and 5 from the 13-yard line. Silverwolves looking to see if they can punch this one in, but as of right now, that Dixie defense is holding up pretty well against that run game. Every so often they'll break through for decent gain, but not too bad. Snap taken, handed off to Perry. Perry wrapped up, slips it, pushes into a wall. Does he have enough to gain the first down? It's going to be real close. I think it might be about a yard shy.
Boy, that's too bad if you're a Dixie fan. They had him stopped in the hole, number 35. I don't have a name for 35.
That's Crichton.
Oh, is that Crichton?
Yep.
He had him stopped right there, but he, as you mentioned, Perry slipped out of the tackle and then got him within about 6 inches of that first down. So this is a huge play coming up right here.
3rd down, short, 1 yard to go. Inside the 10. Again, score 7-3.
We don't see this very often, Caden, a quarterback under center.
Well, not very often at all. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, passes it, caught, wrapped up, taken down short of the goal, but he get a first down. That was number 24, Derek Ratliff.
What a great play call. Dixie was loaded up for the run, and that time Myers just faked the handoff, rolled to his left, and found him wide open on the flat there.
They move quick. That's Hicks. Hicks wrapped up and taken down just shy of the goal line. Right at the 1.5 yard line.
It looked like Hicks might score there. There was a hole there that opened up, but it closed quickly there. I couldn't get the number on the stop for Dixie, but it closed quickly.
They were moving quick. They wanted to see if they could catch Dixie off guard. That defense was ready to go, though. They knew that run was coming. But Perry's back in and sends Hicks back to the sideline. As Myers gets set under center. Myers hands off to Perry. Perry punches it in. It's going to be a Silverwolves touchdown, and that will give them the lead as well. 9 points on the board to the Flyers 7.
Boy, just great push that time up front by the right side of the Riverton offensive line. They just got a hat on a hat and move him back, and he pretty much could have walked into the end zone there.
He pretty much did. So with 5:16 left to go in this first half, the Silverwolves take that lead over the Flyers. See if they can punch in one more point here on the extra point, and it is good. So let's give it 10-7 on the scoreboard. Silverwolves leading this one. We'll take a minute break and be back on the other side on St. George News Radio. Welcome back into Flyer Field. The Flyers trailing this one now 7-10 with 5:16 left to go here in this first half. They get the kickoff their way into the end zone, so they'll start things off here at the 20-yard line. Jalen Schultz in the shotgun gets this one, hands it off with a pretty decent run up the middle, stumbling over himself, but keeps on his feet and pushes forward for that first down with a little bit more to go. Decent run there, huh?
Yeah, Silas Russell on the direct handoff there. He found a nice hole, number 55 for Dixie up front. He's the right tackle. That's Alex Aldridge. They made a nice hole, and he picked up 12 yards.
So that's a first down for the Flyers. Off of an first down. That's what you want to see. Big movement. Fakes a handoff, keeps it himself. Schultz has some room to run. He gets past the 50. And finally, he steps out of bounds, but he was going.
Yeah, again, they pulled the tight end from the left side to the right side on like a trap play, faked the fly sweep, and Schultz just kept it around the right side on the short side of the field. And if he had a little more room there, he probably could have got about 20 more yards. Great play call.
So that'll bring up another first down from the 48. Dixie still in their own territory, looking to punch across that 50-yard line. 4:43 left to go. Riverton Silverwolves holding on to that 10-7 lead. This one handed off. It's going to go right up the middle with it. Before he's tripped up, taken down, but not after a 7-yard gain. That was, again, Silas Russell.
Yeah, Silas Russell, again, just a direct handoff, and they're getting great penetration up front. Big number 50 on the left side this time. That's Cody Martin. He got some leverage, as well as looks like Lucas Defoe. He did a nice job pushing the line, and they're picking up big chunks of yardage.
Dixie set, Schultz in the gun, standing right on the 50-yard line, puts Silas in motion, hands it off right back. And going forward, or excuse me, that was Bennett.
Yeah, that was a
That was Louis Bennett, yeah.
great tackle that time by number 29 for Riverton. That was Caden Shook. We've called his name a couple of times, but looks like we got a sideline warning on Riverton being called right now. But what a great block that time by Kesterson to seal the end, allowing the speedy scat pack Bennett to get around the corner.
Yeah, and he did. He made his way down. I just want to make sure that, yep, that's exactly what you're saying, just a little sideline warning.
Hey, my old eyes haven't deceived me just yet, kid.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
Another flag.
little false start that time.
That was a more than a little false start. I think everyone was moving on that one. Who do they get on it? That was the question, right?
Everybody
Who went first.
but the center.
Everyone but the center.
Yeah. Well, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
they're moving it back.
You go from a 3rd and a yard and a half now to 3rd and 7. Makes it a little bit tougher.
So 3rd down, about 7 or so to go. 6. We'll give him 6. Hands off. Silas takes this one, stumbles on his own feet a little bit. We'll give the trip up there to the Silver Wolves. That's I think that was number 21. Yeah, number 21 for the Silver Wolves.
Boy, they're going to be about a yard short.
Wyatt Brown.
They need a half a ball length is all they need to get that first down, and not surprised they're going to go for it.
Well, you got just about 3 minutes. The clock's ticking. You're down by 3 right now, 10-7. As they take the handoff, he's pushing 40. He kind of hits a wall, but stumbles out of it. Does he have enough to gain? I think he's got it.
Got it by a yard, yeah. What a pop, though, by number 21.
He got him good.
Wow.
That was Wyatt Brown again.
He just filled the hole nicely, but, the running back, that was Silas Russell. He got popped and spun off of him, got that extra yard for the first down.
Hey, Silas, though, he's small, but he pushed. He fought for that one, so we'll give him the first down. Taken across the side, Bennett. Wrapped up. Right back at the line of scrimmage, Louis Bennett.
Yeah, great time. Great job that time by the Riverton defensive end. He didn't go for the dive, and they spread that one out really well. They flowed really nicely as a defense to that one. That was great play there by the Riverton defense.
Second down, 10 to go here for the Flyers. They take their time on this play. Jalen Schultz again in the shotgun. Looks like Coach Monkers is going to take a timeout. Fabulous Freddy's fabulous timeout. Give us 30 seconds. We'll take a timeout ourselves, and we'll be back on the other side on St. George News Radio. Heading out of that Fabulous Freddy's fabulous timeout. It is second down, 10 to go. The clock stopped with 2:16 on it. The score here, 10-7. Silver Wolves leading this one over the Flyers. Flyers looking to see if they can either tie it up or, better yet, maybe take the lead heading into halftime.
Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take a shot down this right side. There's only one safety in the middle, and he's on the far side.
Schultz, he is going to fake that handoff. He's going to punch it deep. Does he have someone there? Not there in time.
Boy, they were trying to hit Blake Watson down the left side there on the short side. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to go back to the wide side of the field. There was nobody in the middle.
There's no one there. Well, especially because they had sent David Barchi on the, they had him on that far side, and then they sent him in motion back to the side that everyone was already on.
It's like they're
Could
only
have kept him out there
on that quarter of the field over there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just setting up for a big one or something here.
Yep. Dixie back at it. Schultz is in the gun. Takes the handoff. That's 23. Taking it for a solid gain down to the 30-yard line. Again, Silas Russell.
What a great run by Russell. He picked up 10 tough yards and before getting popped by number 29 from Riverton. That was Cadron Shook again. We've called his name a few times, but what a great run. What a gutsy call. A run
It
play
kind of
on 3rd
was,
and
huh?
10.
Hey, but you know what? Silas has been giving you some of that yardage. Gets you a first down. Back to Silas on this one. He's going to push forward, but he gets wrapped up by a pack of Silver Wolves there and taken back down to that 30-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock's still ticking out there. 1:37 right now. Silver Wolves leading this one 10-7.
Boy, Silas, he's not a big guy, but he's not afraid to stick his nose in there, is he?
Not at all, right? Schultz puts a guy in motion. He's going to keep it himself. Looks to run. Jukes tries to spin out of it. Stays on his feet. Falls forward, but still is going to lose a couple yards.
What a great play by number 9 that time for the Silver. Why do I have a
Silver Wolves?
Yeah, why do I
stop to say?
For Riverton? He did a great job. I believe that's Cody Martin. He came flying in there and really did a nice job dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, there's another fabulous Freddy's timeout. We'll keep this one right here, though, as we're getting closer and closer to that Rally Stop halftime show. So far, though, this one has been a bit of a defensive battle. It's still 10-7. Silver Wolves leading this one. Thank you for joining us here on St. George News Radio, or if you're joining us on the stream as well on foxsportssu.com or on region10sports.tv. We thank you for joining us. Also, a game going on across town being broadcast on Fox Sports Southern Utah on 99.5 is the Desert Hills game taking on Cedar Valley, but that one's looking a little rough. We're going to be going over scores at halftime. We'll give you the updates on that one. And it's not so great for the Thunder right now, I'll tell you that.
Well, for you Dixie Flyer fans, one name you haven't heard tonight is Seth the Cow.
Right, and he's one guy I was looking forward to in the pregame show. We had kind of mentioned hey, that was a jersey I was looking forward to seeing, but yeah, not there.
He's on the sidelines in street clothes tonight, so something must have happened last week.
Schultz takes the snap, pressure coming, and he's going to be wrapped up, taken down for a sack. That was number 33, Chaz Hinckley again.
Yeah, we've called his name again a couple times tonight. Just a great job. Schultz tried to step up into the pocket as there was great coverage downfield, and Hinckley was just right there to throw him to the turf.
So brings up a long 4th down now for the Flyers. Riverton takes the timeout this time.
I don't know that I'd punt it to that number 25. He's electric. If you're going to kick it away from Parker. You cannot. I don't know. It's, 4th and 15. Would you go for it, or are you going to kick it, especially with the time you got left?
That's tough. I mean, you're too far for a field goal. I don't know. Maybe certain kickers could do it. Can this guy do it? I mean, who's to say, right, on a 4th down? But a minute left, I say go for it. You already, you would put them in field position where it's not horrible if you're on defense.
So you're saying you'd go for it then?
I almost would just say go for it.
Okay.
What do you got to lose?
Just momentum.
You're right. Hey, but you know what? Here's the thing, though. If they don't get it, worst case scenario, they end up
at the 37.
Yeah,
right?
they'll start at 37. Best case scenario, you get a first down, right? If you punt it, best case scenario, put them at the 2-yard line, right?
Yeah, inside the 10. Yep.
Schultz, he's going to drop back to pass. The pressure coming again. He throws this one
Katie.
backwards.
That's a lateral.
If that's picked up, it is. Wow, talk about worst case scenario. Turned even worse for the Flyers as he threw that one backwards. It was picked up by the Silver Wolves, and they brought it back to their own 35-yard line.
Did I mention momentum? Was a possibility?
You did. You were not wrong.
Schultz tried to do his best to avoid the pressure, but
is that the broadcaster's jinx right there, huh?
I think it is. But then all of a sudden he gets wrapped up. He tries to get rid of it, but the ball goes backwards as a lateral. And that was number 9, Cody Walton, who picked it up. And good thing a heads-up play by the Dixie Flyers, or else he would have scored.
You know, and I got to give the officials some credit for realizing what happened there and realizing that was a backwards pass, because it was about 3 yards behind him where the ball landed. So
it really was.
Myers, he's going to take the snap from the gun. He's rolling out to his left, seeing if he can get a pass away. He's got all the time in the world, though. He's just going to run it out of bounds at the 30-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, you're going to get a hold, though, on big 69 for Riverton. I think everybody in the stands and everybody could see that one coming. That he grabbed around the neck of number 44 that's Trevin Aldridge. And you saw the official just pick the flag up and chuck it as far as he could because it was pretty obvious.
So they're going to move this one way back to the 47. So if you're Dixie, you're breathing a little sigh of relief. There's 49 seconds on the clock.
Well, that's like a 13-yard holding penalty because it occurred behind the line of scrimmage. So
yeah.
That's a big penalty.
That's a big loss for the Silver Wolves. They still lead this one 10-7, though, as they're heading into halftime here in about 49 seconds on the clock at least. So give us a couple minutes. We'll be hitting that halftime show. But Silver Wolves seeing if they can try to capitalize on now a 2nd and 23. Snap was away. Myers looking to pass, gets it out, too far out from his intended receiver, number 24, Derek Ratliff. Ratliff last game had 57 yards total on the game, so he was one of those that was utilized quite a lot, but we've only really heard his name
once,
as far as positive yardage once tonight.
Yep. That time, again, Myers, he's got to do a little better job of just planting his feet before he throws. I mean, he just launched that thing. That was a 5-yard out to the wide side of the field, but he threw off of his back foot and the ball carried on him.
Yeah. So with that incomplete pass, the clock stopped at 42 seconds. And this one hands off to Perry. Perry has some good yards to gain there, but he's going to be tripped up and dropped down at the 42.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Right now, Dixie's only rushing 3 guys, dropping 8 back, and so
yeah.
Riverton just says, I'm going to take what I can get, and they got 5 yards that time on the run, and going to take this down to probably the last play here of the half.
Yep, they're the official has the coach over there on the sideline just ready to rock and roll for a timeout to give them as much time as possible to make that last final play. 6-5 on the clock, 4 seconds, and they give them the timeout with 4 seconds left on the clock. So another fabulous Freddy's fabulous timeout. As we're getting closer and closer to our Rally Stop halftime show.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to our folks at Rally Stop. They've been great supporters for Region 10 sports last year and this year.
Yep.
They just picked up a couple of new locations down here in St. George. So if you're out there a little thirsty tonight, stop into Rally Stop, fuel up, and head back over to the game.
Absolutely. So one thing that we are looking for tonight is our Appliance Wholesaler Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. So trying to figure out what that big play is. So far, we've had a couple of really good runs.
Yeah.
I know that, of course, throwing his name into it, Silas Russell has been phenomenal running the ball tonight.
I think I'm going to speak now. I think we're going to see that in the second half. I think
we'll see a little more.
Yeah, some fireworks happen as both sides get a little bit tired from the heat, and I think you're going to see some things happen there.
So with the 4th down, 4 seconds left to go on the clock, Silver Wolves are leading this one 10-7. Let's see what they do here on 4th. Myers standing at the 50-yard line, launches this one deep. Almost has a receiver, but a flag on the play. It's going to be a pass interference call.
Well, for those of you at home, you can't end on a defensive penalty. And
wow.
Good thing for high school and college football, it's only a 10 or 15-yard penalty. So it's not like the pros where they'd get the ball on the 2-yard line. So it's a good play.
Yeah, you have to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yep.
But that does mean they get one more shot at it.
But you didn't give up a big play or a touchdown right there at the half. So that's, you take a penalty over that than a touchdown, that's for sure.
Yeah, even though the clock says zeros, Riverton will still get one more shot to punch it into the end zone here. Or do they get put in good enough territory? They're sitting at the 27-yard line. Do you just go for a field goal now at this point? It looks like they will.
They were about the same distance, and they
Yeah.
barely got over the crossbar, so it's probably right at his max distance. So
Well, that's number 44, Dylan Turville, who is the kicker tonight. He's set up, ready to go. Line gets down. There's the snap.
Ooh.
Kicks away.
it's going to be short.
I think he might have snuck it in.
Oh, he got it over.
Just snuck it in.
Oh, my gosh.
Again.
If he had 6 inches more to go, he would not have made it. But what a great kick. Give him credit.
It puts us at 13-7 here. Silver Wolves lead this one as we head into our Rally Stop halftime show. We will take a break here. 3 minutes. We will be back with you for our Rally Stop halftime show here on St. George News Radio. And, when you're looking for that critical part on your car, head on over to Bo's Auto. So, of course, we've talked about this game. Can you tell us about what's going on across the rest of Region 10?
Well, I don't know if you heard our pregame show. I told Caden, I said, I'm a little nervous for Desert Hills because their quarterback got injured, and you never know how a team's going to respond, and you're kind of seeing the effects of that. And we watched some film on that Cedar Valley club. They've got a kid that can fly. So... Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I do want to give one quick update from Cedar. They have been in lightning delays all night, so they haven't even really got going over there. So we can't really give you any updates from Cedar because they've been on lightning delays. So want to throw that in real quick as well. But what else are we seeing from around Region 10? Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm seeing as well. So you're definitely as on top of it as I am over here. So, hey, well, we appreciate you joining us, and we love having you hop in on this halftime show, keeping us up to date with what's going on in 4A. That's Connor Collins, everybody, checking in from the studio with us. So we'll take a quick 2-minute break, and we will continue on with our Rally Stop halftime show in just a bit. In here to Flyer Field, the Dixie Flyers trailing 7-13 against the Riverton Silverwolves. This is Caden Formaster here and Keith Curtis. Keith, let's kind of update in our as we're in our Rally Stop halftime show. Let's update some of those Red Rock Auto Sales keys to the game again.
Well, in the first, in the pregame show, I mentioned it for Dixie, it was going to be about tackling and shoring up that run defense. And, they've done a pretty good job of it. And I take notes throughout the game, and it looks like, from what I can tell, they've only given up 70 yards offensively to Riverton, 49 on the ground, and then, 21 through the air. They've done a really nice job that way after giving up over 300 yards rushing to Springville a week ago. So great job by that. And then it was mentioned that, back from the studio that, the D-line is really just getting off tonight for Dixie. They've done a nice job. And then on offensively, Dixie's got 91 rush yards already through the first half. So they've done a great job running the ball, 43 through the air. So they picked that up through the film, I think. They saw that Syracuse could gouge the Riverton defense with some big plays on the run, and Dixie did a nice job of doing that. Now, on the other side of things, Riverton's done a nice job. They've caused 2 turnovers, which have led to 10 points. So without those turnovers, Dixie would be leading. So
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. It's fully. I think that's fully accurate, right? I mean, Dixie needs to tighten things up a little bit more. They need to play just a little bit of a cleaner game. And I'm not even talking about penalties so much as I am just the turnovers too. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a mixed bag of penalties and turnovers, sure. But again, I think take away that penalty at the goal line over there, it's a 10-7 game because it wouldn't make that field goal at the end, right? Yeah. That's the game if they let that pass drop. But you're right. Yeah, there's just kind of been a few mistakes from Dixie's side that has led to scoring, and that's always tough to look back on film and say, hey, if it wasn't for this one mistake, if we'd played a clean game, it's a lot easier to come back from down by 3 points. Because again, if Dixie gets in a field goal range and ties it, great, But now they need a couple field goals or a touchdown to get back into it. So
well, it's a one-score ball game, so realistically,
you're right.
At
the end of the day, it is.
Yeah, and so I know Riverton gets the ball to start the second half. So if the Flyer defense can come out and get a stop, and that offense can get a quick score, I really think we're going to see some electric plays in the second half.
I think you're exactly right. We're definitely going to be seeing some movement here. And again, one thing that I talked about too with one of my Red Rock Auto keys to the game was try to open up that passing game. We've actually seen a few times where the passing game could be there, just didn't quite click. The pass was just off, or they didn't utilize the open field as much as they should have. There's been a few different times where things like that have happened. So I think that it's very possible to open up this passing game just a little bit more. The run game has gotten them the most yards at this point, consistently, I should say. But if they can get the passing game going just a little bit better, they'll be all right.
Yeah, they will. And then the thing that they've done as part of that running game is they're running a lot of fly sweeps, and that motion, is drawing that Riverton defense out, which makes those bigger guys up front have to run to the play, and that'll tire them out. So those are great play calls that Coach Moncrief is calling to try to utilize Dixie's speed against their size, and they're doing a nice job with that.
They most definitely are. Well, let's take a minute break here as we wrap up our Rally Stop halftime show. And on the other side, we'll be back in for the third quarter here from Dixie High School. So 1 minute, and we'll be back here on St. George News Radio. go back at Flyer Field. The Dixie Flyers trailing this one at halftime, coming into the third quarter now. It's 13-7. The Riverton Silverwolves have that slight edge. Now, Keith, so far in this game, I would say that I don't know if Riverton is actually the better team yet. They've looked pretty good. Dixie's just made a lot of mistakes that have been costly. So if they can clean it up, I think Dixie has a shot of coming back in this one.
Oh, I agree with you. I look for Riverton to do two things in the second half. One is to run the ball more up the middle against the smaller defensive front. And two, try to get after the quarterback a little bit more to cause some more turnovers. They've already got 2. Look for them to try to keep doing that. But until they show that they can impose their will and have that physical dominance, I think Dixie can hang right there with them, and they can pull this thing off here in the second half.
Let's see what happens. The second half just about underway. Is the Flyers going to be kicking off to the Silverwolves to get things started here. So far in this one, the Silverwolves, they returned a punt quite well. Brought it back out to about the 25-yard line. So let's see what they do on this kickoff.
Well, it looks like they didn't even put the speedster back there to return Jarius Parker. They don't even have him back there. So Dixie's kicker's been putting about 8-9 yards deep, and he did it again.
He did it again. Yeah, they had Easton Hicks back there, who we said quite a bit in the first quarter, not so much in the second, but no need when your kicker's got quite the leg, huh?
No, that's a valuable weapon. I mean, you think about it. Usually the average starting field position in high school, if you don't put that ball in the end zone, it's around the 30 to 35-yard line.
Right. By the way, that's Jonathan Babiano, who is the kicker for the Flyers. So I got to give him a name shout-out, too. He's the one putting these well into the into the back of the end zone. Myers hands this one off to Perry. Perry puts the brakes on, finds a gap, and runs through it for a decent 4-yard gain to get things rolling for the Silverwolves here in the beginning of the third quarter.
Well, that was just a nice job that time by Perry. He found a little hole. He put the brakes on. Dixie did a great job flowing to the ball. He just allowed the momentum of the defense to slide by him, and he slipped behind it, picked up 4 yards to start the second half.
2nd and 5 now for the Silverwolves. Myers going to head back under center. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks in today's high school ball that go under center. A lot of them love that shotgun formation, but Myers has been about 50-50. This possession, a lot of flags flying.
You know, Mark and I were talking about
step back.
Yeah, last week. You know, you hardly ever see a quarterback under center anymore. It's like they almost don't want him to get touched. You know, everybody's trying to run the spread is what it really is. But
right,
you know, the spread offense is kind of taken over college football, high school football. But
you don't see it as much in the NFL, but it's definitely existing in some of these, the lower levels of football at the high school level for sure.
Well, and the reason why you see it at the 2 other levels is because it gives an advantage to the offense because it spreads the defensive out.
Right.
Riverton, they choose to run a little old school. That's because they have some size up front that they can lay a hat on a hat and move people.
Yeah. If you're watching the stream, getting a good shot of the clouds there, kind of seeing where that storm's at. But as of right now, it's kind of just sticking up in the mountains, so that's good for us down here. Myers takes this one, shoots it across, but wrapped up, taken down quickly by Errol Dyer.
Dyer's
and he's
down.
Sticking down on the ground after that hit.
Looked like he might have hit his head or jolted his neck on that tackle. You never want to see it.
He's a little shaken up. Let's see.
There he goes.
He got him back up again.
It was a great read, though, by Dyer. He read the play, and like you said, dropped him for a 2-yard gain, so excellent job.
Looks like he's able to walk that one off a little bit, so that's good.
Looks like they made him call a timeout, or is it for an injury, or did someone call a full timeout?
I didn't see a timeout called, but it's possible they did it. I don't know. Maybe they did end up calling a timeout, but as of right now, both teams have 3 timeouts on the board, so maybe they did take a quick little injury timeout just in case.
Well, Dyer's coming over here to the sideline, kind of holding
his ribs.
Yeah. It surprised me because at first I thought it was a neck-head injury. I'm glad it's more rib than head or neck.
Yeah, they got him sitting on the bench as hands up on his helmet. So
I wonder if he just landed on the Riverton wide receiver and it knocked the wind out of him.
could be. Third down, 9 to go. Myers takes the snap, drops back to pass, goes across the middle. It's well over the head of his intended receiver. He's done that multiple times tonight where he just cannot seem to drop it down in. He just keeps it a little too high.
Well, and again, it comes back to his fundamentals. He's thrown off of the back foot of his, of his right foot. He's not stepping into the throw. The other thing that he did on that defense, on that play, is he locked in on the big tight end the whole way. If he would have looked to the receiver side and then gone back to the tight end, he would have drawn the safety off, and he would have been wide open.
Right. Snap taken. The punt is away here on this fourth down. It falls in at the 50-yard line, bounces a couple times, and it rolls backwards. Riverton jumps on top of it at the 43-yard line. So the Flyers will start some pretty decent field position here on a first down to get things rolling for their first possession in the third quarter into the second half.
Boy, if you're Dixie, you couldn't have scripted a better way to start defensively the second half. And now with, excellent field position, you really only have just over half the field to go. This is a great opportunity right here for the offense to get right back in the game and maybe take the lead.
So Dixie comes in here with Schultz in the gun. He puts Barbin in motion, hands off to Barbin on a sweep, takes it inside, right about down to the line of scrimmage again. Doesn't look like he's going to gain anything on this one.
Yeah, that was well spread out. That was Jackson Croft who came up from the free safety position and just laid the lumber there at the end. But Barbin had really nowhere to go on the short side of the field here, and Riverton did a nice job just spreading that thing out.
Yeah, it was that defensive end again, Chaz Hinckley, who got in on that one and really brought him down.
Yeah, we like calling that guy's name a lot tonight, don't we?
Yeah. So again, second down, 10 to go. Here comes a bit of a blitz, but the handoff right up the middle is Jeff Christian.
That's a great
solid run for a 6-yard gain. 4 left to go here on third down.
Yeah, just a great job. Riverton that time put on a run blitz to try to plug all the holes, and Christian just let him, he was trying to do the sweep, and he let him fly right behind him. He cut upfield, planted that right foot, and got upfield quickly for 6 tough yards.
Barbin in motion. Schultz keeps it himself, but he's going to be wrapped up and taken down immediately.
Big 69 that time for Riverton. That is Isili Faletau. We've called his name a couple times, not in a good way.
Yeah, Faletau's been he's putting in a lot of work out there. He's a big kid, too. I mean, that's a guy that you don't want taking you down.
Big kid. I'll bet he's about 6'5", about 295.
Yeah, well, let me see. Should I guess?
Yeah, I'm just guessing.
6'4", 300.
I was close.
That was right there. 13-7. Riverton still leading this one as the punt is away. It's a pretty good punt. Falls in at the 22 or so and falls out of bounds at the 16, 15-yard line. They'll put it at the 15.
That was a smart play that time because they kicked it away from Parker, who can fly. So smart play by Dixie. They learned the first time.
Well, we saw what Jay Parker can do.
Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, that's a great punt inside the 20. Anytime you can keep them inside the 20, that's a great job.
For sure. Across the town at Desert Hills, they're just getting things started here in their second half of plays. The Thunder kicked off to the Aviators of Cedar Valley. So you can also go and watch that one online at foxsportssu.com. Catch this one online as well at foxsportssu.com. Handoff up the middle by Perry. Taken down short of the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up now a third down play with 11 to go.
Yeah, that was Tatua Taloa, number 28, and number 33, Junior Coughlin in on the tackle. So, again, great job up front by Dixie's front line to get some penetration that time.
Myers taking this one in the gun. Now, Riverton's got some of that fancy technology where the coach gets to tell the quarterback through the helmet what they're going to say.
Oh,
As he's
what a
dropped
play.
for a sack. Big play there.
I think that was Taloa.
Is that number
again.
28?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 28.
What a great stop. That's a 10.
Tatua Taloa on the
Oh,
drop.
10-yard loss there. What a great play. And he's not real big, but he's playing nose or just off of the nose tackle position.
Yeah.
Well, you get a motor like he's got, I can see why they got him down there.
Well, they're putting him right here in kind of like your middle linebacker spot, looks like.
Yeah, and then he moves up to the line.
Is that what
and
he's
gets
doing? He's
down
moving
in
into
there.
a nose?
Yeah. And he just picks a side, whichever ways he's going to go. So you got
He's
third in
sneaky.
the country mile.
And they're going to
here.
go hand off to Perry, and he's going to be brought down.
Wow, they tried to do the Dixie play, a little sweep to the outside, and Dixie was well prepared for that. So no gain. Oh, actually a loss of 1 yard. So great defensive stand again by Dixie.
4th and 17 now for the Silver Wolves. They're still leading this one 13-7, 7:23 here in the third quarter right now.
This is a dangerous point in the
There's
game.
a snap. Perry with the quick punt that falls at the 40-yard line. Picked up by Barvin, who rolls forward and falls down at the 36-yard line. So the Flyers starting in Silver Wolves territory. This is a good spot to be in right now for Dixie.
Well, that was such a smart play for you folks at home that can't see, not watching the stream. That ball bounced, and Barvin had to make a decision whether to either let it roll or go and pick it up. And by going and picking it up and lunging forward, he saved him about 10 yards from going backwards, and he got 10 yards on the lunge. So that's just an excellent play by Barvin.
So it's a U first down here for the Flyers. Handoff. This is one of our Daves.
We'll just call him Dave.
That's David Barchi on the carry there.
Well, again, that's the fly sweep action that they've got. That picks up 4 or 5 yards there. Barchi did a nice job just finding the hole and planting his left foot and getting upfield. So great job of getting positive yardage on the first play.
2nd down, 5 yards to go. Flyers inching closer and closer here now.
Oh.
Little bit of a jump. That's on offense. That's going to push them back now.
But that's a killer.
Yep. Is it their right tackle?
The right guard, actually.
Or right guard, I mean. Yeah.
Number 62.
Number 62. Yeah, that's Porter Fielding.
I hate to be calling out big linemen. They work so hard throughout the game, and you hate to call them out on something negative like that, but that 5 yards can come back to haunt you.
And he's a sophomore, and you want to say, hey, as a sophomore, you got to learn from your mistakes, right? But if you ask him, I'm sure he's saying, I shouldn't be making the mistakes anyways. I'm better than this. So keeping it himself, Schultz spins, falls forward, a decent gain, kind of gets back into that 5-yard territory. So it should be 3rd and 5 again.
Yeah, did a nice job. Had a nice spin move there. He tried to elude a tackle and spun inside, and that was a nice run and pickup that time for Schultz.
6:35 on the clock, 13-7. Silver Wolves leading. Dixie trying to see if they can get on the board again here and maybe take this lead. Snaps away. Schultz looking to pass across the middle. It's tipped up in the air, falls down to the turf. There are some flags on the play. That's probably going against the defense, if you had to ask me, by the looks of it.
Boy, that looked like a really nice play. That's Wyatt Brown, number 21, on the coverage. I thought there for a minute with that ball in it, he broke it up. I thought it might get picked off by Riverton, but the back judge threw the flag. I think you're right. They're going to get a first down out of it.
And it tipped the hands of Kesterson.
Yeah, they're going to give
they're
him.
moving it forward. So that'll be another first down. And they're going to get the ball inside the red zone.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty. That's a big one.
Well, especially that close down the field.
What a great opportunity now for Dixie here to punch this in and take the lead.
6:20 on the clock. Schultz hands this one off to Christian. Christian bullies his way forward for a decent gain.
Yeah, about 7 yards on the carry. He just hit the left side. That was number 53 and number 50. That's Cody Martin and Jordan Siemens. They're just getting a hat on a hat and moving people. So that's a good hard running and great blocking up front by the O-line.
Over at the Desert Hills game, Thunder just barely getting a sack on Cedar Valley. Schultz takes a handoff. He rolls out to his right.
Oh,
Tosses this one to the end zone. Does he have him there? It's outside of play. Even if he could get to it, it would have been well outside for Blake Watson.
Boy, Watson had a step on him, too. Unfortunately, Schultz was under heavy pressure. That was number 11, Logan Dunfield, the defensive end for Riverton. If Schultz had a little more time, he might have been able to sneak that one in there, but just not happening.
It's a tough toss to make on the run, that's for sure.
Well, the only advantage he has is he was rolling right, which is his strong hand. You know, that's what he throws with, and
sure
makes it a little easier. But you're right, that's a difficult play.
5:39 left to go. It is 3rd and 5. Schultz takes the snap, hands this one off to Christian. Christian trying to go forward, gets inside the 10-yard line down to the 9, but is it still not quite enough?
What do you think, Caden? Would you go for it, or are you going to send your kicker in?
4th and 2. They're going to put in the punting team, or the kicking team. Go for that field goal.
Wow.
But I'd have a tough time on this. I would consider going for it. You can get 2 yards.
You know, but you don't want to come out of this without any points. So I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get any, you end up, it's a big momentum shift.
This is Bibiano for the Flyers. He's got a cannon.
Ooh.
Gets this one in. So that'll bring Dixie Flyers score up just a little. There is a flag also on the play.
It's running into the kicker. That's going to be an automatic first down, Caden. They're going to get the ball 1st and goal inside the 5.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah. That was 25. That was our guy, our Russian. That's Jarius Parker, who was diving off of the left side of the line and just got the leg of the kicker. So that's going to be a huge penalty. You automatically go down from a 13-10 game to now a chance to go on top.
Wow. That is crazy. So Flyers now have another chance to score again. But maybe this time they can make it 7 instead of 3, huh?
Well, I know there's a lot of fans on the west side here hoping that happens here, Caden.
Well, it's 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. Schultz puts Barman in motion. He's going to hand off to Christian. Christian put the brakes on right at that line of scrimmage. He didn't really have anywhere to go. Tried to see if there was a hole, but there just wasn't anything. He gets wrapped up.
That was Cody Walton, the defensive end. He just closed that hole down, put the lumber. That's why Christian had to put the brakes on. He was filling that hole fast.
Well, and that's also a good reason why maybe you don't go for it on that 4th and 2, because if that play would have been the same one on that 4th and 2, they wouldn't have had it. So
good point. Good point.
Looks like a timeout taken by the Flyers. So take a quick Fabulous Freddy's Fabulous timeout ourselves. 30 seconds. We'll be back with you here at Flyer Field for some Dixie Flyers and Riverton football on St. George News Radio. Second and 5 with 4:21 on the clock. 13-7. They had a kick go through, but penalty brought it back for their favor. Keep it himself. Schultz, he's going to find his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown, and the Flyers tied this thing up at 13.
Boy, what a great read that time by Schultz. They were really lying heavy on Christian on the dive play, so he just snuck it out from behind him and walked right into the end zone.
13-13, PAT pending.
Boy, that was a great play call that time.
That was awesome. Bibiano now setting up for the field goal afterwards. High snap, kick is away. It is good.
You got another penalty, Caden. They're running into the kicker.
They ran into the kicker again. And you got to be kidding me on that, huh?
Well, now the kicker's getting a little feisty, too, saying,
yeah, he's like, come at me. I don't care. Hit me.
I'm telling you, it's those teal green cleats he's got on. They want a pair of those.
Let's see what they end up doing with that penalty.
I'll bet they take it on the kickoff.
I'm sure they will.
Oh, looks like you got one on Dixie, too. They're pointing at a Dixie player. I'll bet you're getting
I'm sure it's some unsportsmanlike conduct. There's a little bit of John going on.
Did you say John or jawing?
Some jawing going on. Jogging? No.
I'm like, John, that's what they say on the East Coast back in New York and Philly. What's that, John? You know? What's
yeah.
That? Well, we got ourselves a ball game here, Cadence. Second half, we couldn't ask for anything better. 14-13 game.
So they're explaining the penalties now. There's a personal foul on the defense. They'll accept the field goal. All stuff that we kind of talked about, so. Sideline warning against Dixie, though.
Well, that'll give Vargas an opportunity here to put one 10 yards deep again.
So, back at it, Bibiano. Let's see what that leg can do again, huh? He's taking a couple shots, but he gets to kick it from the
Riverton 45.
From the Riverton 45. What's the point? I mean,
if I was him, I would say, okay, I'm going to try to make a field goal from here.
Yeah, why not?
Have
Get some field goal practice.
Yeah, have
some
a little
field
fun
goal
with
practice.
It. Why not? I mean, worst case, they're going to get the ball at the 25, right?
Yeah, well, the 20. It's high school.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, I would just say, hey, yeah, I got to kick off once, and I put it through the field goals.
Yep, he's kicking off from the Riverton 45. There's the kick.
There it is.
And it is launched, and he easily put it through the uprights.
He's like, you're going to dive at my feet. I'm going to kick the ball through the end zone and then some.
Man, Bibiano is quite the kicker here for the Flyers. Let's take this moment to look at some of the scores from across Region 10. Cedar gets the lead currently at the end of the first. The lightning delays have finally kind of seceded, and it is 14-7. Desert Hills scoring as well. So it was 21-0, but with the Desert Hills score, there you go. Rush up the middle by Perry. Perry takes a hit and keeps on going. And he's still on his feet. How does he keep on carrying like that?
Boy, what a great run. They just hit a quick hitter up the middle. He was able to break through the first level. Then the safety for Dixie, number 6, he came up. That was Braden Wilson. And he gave Wilson a ride, another 5-6 yards, so about an 18-yard pickup.
We got 3:55 on the clock here in the third quarter. The Flyers with that slight lead, 14-13. I'm going to call it right now. By the way, Keith, looking at our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game, that crucial part might be some of those, might be that penalty for running into the kicker on that fourth down.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sweeping across the edge, the Wolves wrapped up, but not after a decent gain. That was number 23, Sam Woolley. Wrapped up, I think that was Chet Atkinson for the Flyers that wrapped him up.
Yeah, that's the same play that Dixie really loves to run. They just run the X receiver or Z receiver sweep, and Dixie sees that every day in practice from their offense, so they're used to seeing it. Great job by making the tackle there after a short gain.
Second down, 6 to go here for the Silver Wolves. They roll out handoff again to Perry. Perry this time tripped up and dropped down after just a yard gain. Perry's got quite the wheels on him, though. He's a solid running back.
He really is. He's big and thick. But that was a great tackle. That was Brian Cherry, the junior defensive lineman for Dixie, making that stop after 2 yards.
So 3rd and 5. If Dixie can hold off on this would be a great defensive stance here for the Flyers. Silver Wolves. Big pass down the middle. Way out there. Does he have his guy? It is not there. No flags.
Wow.
That was good defense there by number 4. That's Caden Cooper.
I got to be honest with you, Caden. There was a lot of contact, especially on the backside.
Hey, the official said he was going for the ball. I guess. It was close. That's what I'm saying. It was. I have to say specifically no flags because it was close.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think you could have gone either way, but hey, maybe a little home cooking down here in St. George. That's all right.
I'm of the mindset of if it's a 50-50 call, just go with the no call. That's my mindset on it. I don't know where you stand on it.
Well, if your kid was on the Riverton sideline, you wouldn't be saying that.
I know. Perry.
That's going to be
he's going to keep it. Faked it. Can he get stopped? He's going to be stopped well short of the line to gain.
Boy, that was great anticipation that time by Trevin Aldridge. He ended up bringing him down, but that was Lapati as well who turned him inside, and he comes up 2 yards short. So what a stop.
That very well could be another crucial part of the game right there.
Well,
Big defensive stop.
Yeah, right now all the momentum seems to be flowing Dixie's way. And
absolutely.
They can go right down here and score again. Riverton could be in trouble.
Starting things off, a first down here for the Flyers. Schultz in the gun. And there it is, number 69. We've said his name before for the Silver Wolves. It's Faletau, I believe is how you say his name.
Yep. He's just trying to get a little bit of a push, and they're going on a hard clap and rather than the soft clap. And Faletau is just a little too excited to get upfield.
Flyers in motion. Handoff to Barban. Barban slips the tackle, sweeping around the edge. He's zipping and zapping his way all the way through for a first down.
Yeah, great job by Barban just reading the situation there. He's almost brought down by 33, Chaz Hinckley, the defensive end, but he slipped that one, and then he was able to elude 2 other tacklers before going down after picking up 7 yards.
Well, the Flyers still leading this one 14-13 with 1:50 on the clock here in the third. They're pushing further and further into some Silver Wolf territory right here. It's another first down. This one handed off. Twisted up. Fumble. It is Silver Wolves' ball. They jump on top of it. That was David Barchi who takes the sweep, but someone got a hand in there, just ripped it right out of his arms before he could even think about hitting the ground.
Well, that someone was Chaz Hinckley again. They moved him from the wide side to the short side on the defensive line, and he ripped that out of there. That's a second forced fumble tonight. What a play.
This Silver Wolves defense has just been on top of these turnovers. They've done not only a good job of forcing loose balls, but doing something about it and putting it into their own possession. So, Again, like you said, that's happened a couple times now tonight.
Well, that's 3 turnovers now for Dixie on the night.
Myers takes a handoff to Perry. Perry puts this one up the middle. Again, a couple of hits, and he just keeps on moving himself forward for 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Well, there again, that you're seeing big 69, Faletau, as well as the center, number 77, Jackson McKay, just really made a nice hold in the middle there. And, they were able to pick up good chunk yardage.
So 2nd and 1, Silver Wolves, with just under a minute left to play here in the third quarter. Here goes the handoff to Perry. Perry pushes his way through a big gap.
Caden,
he gets himself a 10-yard gain.
He got 10 yards upfield with the guard in front of him before he was even touched.
He had his blocker in front of him, a hand on his back. They make it 10 yards. There's a flag on the play. Well in the backfield, though. Looks like it might have been even after the play.
Well, you had a lineman downfield for Riverton, who might have got a late cheap hit on one of the Dixie players.
It looks like Riverton's starting to take that walk of shame backwards now a little bit. So
it's one of those things you got to teach those linemen. Listen, you got to listen for the whistle. I know they say play to the whistle, right?
Right.
But once you hear it, you got to stop, and they did not pull up on it.
Yeah, looking into this Desert Hills game a little bit, Titan Morris just barely rushed for about a 30-yard gain. I've got it pulled up on my other screen here, and Titan Morris rushing.
Ran over a guy.
Ran over a guy, got down to about the 6-yard line. Again, that scored 21-7. You can watch that one on foxsportssu.com. But this one gets pushed back. Yes, they gained the first down, so it is a first down, but the penalty pushed them back after the play, so they go back to their own 38-yard line. This one handed off to Easton Hicks, who goes forward for a solid gain of about 6-7 yards.
Boy, again, they just got really good penetration from their line on the left side that time. And, Caden, they're picking up 7, 8, 9 yards a pop. Dixie's got to do something to secure that up.
There's the snap. Myers has a guy right there, but he still gets the pass away. Oh, and he got him.
What a great catch.
Beautiful catch to number 23. That's Sam Woolley.
Now
for a huge first down.
Here's the problem, though, Caden. He went out of bounds and came back in.
Did they notice?
Caught the ball. Yes, there's a hat and a flag down.
Okay, very good.
So a big play.
I didn't even see the flag.
Yeah, it will come back.
Tough break for the Silver Wolves as Desert Hills goes in, by the way. They get a touchdown, so puts that score up now 21-13 with PAT pending. But here at this game, it is 14-13. The Flyers leading this one. Caught a break on a couple of penalties. See where they end up putting this one after these penalties go their way. But, yeah, back over to that Desert Hills game. Looks like Bo Wall standing in for quarterback here. Was able to punch one in on a pass. Let's see, who did he get that one to? That was Cyrus Polu who caught that one for the Thunder. So they're on the board now as well. So Region 10 fighting their way back into some games here. This one, they fought their way back into it, currently lead it. Flyers leading this one 14-13. Desert Hills now just one touchdown behind. Watch both of those games on foxsportssu.com.
Well, watch that one, listen to us. That way you got the best of both worlds, right, Caden?
Hey, I'm kind of doing that. I'm talking this one. I have the other one pulled up on another monitor. I'm covering as much as I can.
Well, it looks like they're walking this one back.
They're walking this one back a ways. Let's see where they end up with it. Now, remember, he caught that at about the, what was it, the 20?
29, 28
something.
Yard line.
And now they're sitting at about the 29-yard line
of their
own territory.
Yeah, so you just flip the field perfectly.
Yeah.
That's the quarter.
That's a tough break. It's a 40-yard difference. 42, we'll say. Looks like a timeout's going to be taken. Fabulous Freddy's fabulous timeout. So we'll take a quick 30-second timeout here and be back with you in just a bit here on St. George News Radio. Dixie Flyers leading this one 14-13. It's Caden Formaster here on the play-by-play. Keith Curtis as well.
Well, Caden, we got a great game going here going into the fourth quarter. It should be a lot of fireworks here in the last 12 minutes.
It definitely should be. Again, yeah, fourth quarter starting, and I was thinking it was timeout. I didn't even realize it was the end of the quarter. So, shows how observant I am when I'm trying to watch two football games going on at once, huh? Nah, it's all good. The Dixie Flyers leading this one 14-13. But Silver Wolves with the ball. Myers takes the snap. He's got to roll out. He's got a couple Flyers right on his tail. He gets a pass away. It's going to be intercepted.
What a great
the
play.
Flyers
That's Kesterson.
bring this one in. No, that's a Blake. No, that was Kesterson. I was thinking that was number 10. You're right. That is Mason Kesterson.
Yeah, he was just kind of roaming the middle of the field there, almost kind of like a free safety, but from the middle linebacker spot. And as the quarterback rolled to his right, he just drifted to his right, read the play perfectly. Looked like it was thrown right to him.
It kind of looked like it was. You're right. So Mason Kesterson plays a little tight end, plays a little defensive end.
Well, and that's the Silver Wolves' second turnover, so they're creeping up there with Dixie as far as the turnovers go.
Absolutely. It's a first down. This one handed off to Barbin. Barbin finds a decent hole, goes forward. Real close to that first down marker. I think they'll mark him a yard shy. They'll put him at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, again, the fly sweep. We've seen it about 30 times tonight. Barbin's had a heck of a night running that play. Seems like every time he's run it tonight, he's picked up positive yardage.
So second down, 1 yard to go. Schultz hands off to Christian. Christian has his hole. He goes in for a first down and 3 more. It's a first down now for the Flyers from the 44-yard line of Riverton.
Boy, great. Just a quick hitter right up the center, right in between big 62 and big number 50. That's Cody Martin and Adam Fielding. And Christian runs just as hard as he can and picked up 4 tough yards. I'd like to see Dixie take a shot right here. Down the field. I mean, Riverton only has a single high safety. If he looks left and then comes back to this other sideline, he should have a guy open.
There's the snap. Schultz taking it himself. Has a little bit of room to run, not too much. Gets about 3 yards on it. It'll go down to the 41.
Yeah, brought down by number 10, Brooks Hoffheim. He's just a young sophomore for Riverton. He made a nice play. He had to bounce off of a block and brought him down.
Second down, 7 to go for the Flyers.
Caden, my stats that I've been trying to keep, they're not 100% accurate, but I've got them close to almost 60 yards in the third quarter of rushing alone.
That's not so bad.
No.
Snaps away, hand up to Barbin. He slips one tackle, gets wrapped up for another one, though. He's going to be dropped back down to that original line of scrimmage. They'll actually put him a yard behind that even, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that's a great play. They did a run blitz that time, and Barbin kept having to go backwards, and then number 31 for Riverton, that's a young sophomore as well, Jackson Croft. He came up and made the tackle, and that was a loss of about 4 or 5.
So Crimson takes the opening kickoff and runs it all the way back 97 yards, 28-7 for the Mustangs against Spanish Fork.
Wow. They got a big game against Timpview next week.
In motion, there's a handoff. Schultz, he's going to air this one out. Does he have a guy downfield? He's looking for Watson. He's way out past it. There's that Kesterson that he's looking for. That was Watson. That was right. Watson. That was Watson. Those 10s and 18s look hard from here.
You know, I'm a little surprised. Yeah, they do. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to just isolate him more one-on-one, but it's not really in that, in their scheme. That's kind of their go-to play. But
well, it brings up 4th down and long, 11 yards from the 45-yard line. So they will punt this one away.
Well, they'd be smart to keep it away from our guy, Jarius Parker. He's electric when he gets that ball in his hands.
Yeah, Jay Parker back there. He's a threat for sure. This one lands at about the 1, but it bounces into the end zone. So not a bad punt, though.
No, if Bibiano could have got some reverse, kind of like your golf shot.
Get a little backspin on that thing, and you might have been all right.
Perfect, but with that said, that's all right. You kept it out of his hands, so smart play.
9:10 left on the clock here. Flyers leading this one 14-13 over the Silver Wolves. A couple of other updates from across the region as well. The Reds got intercepted by Juab on the 6-yard line. That one has 7:30 left to go in the second quarter after their lightning delay.
Still 7-0 for Cedar.
I believe so, yes. This one's going to be kept taken down by Easton Hicks.
That almost sounds like a baseball score, doesn't it?
2-0 at Snow Canyon.
Yeah. They must have their strong lefty going tonight or something.
Yeah, 2-0 Snow Canyon score currently. Myers takes snap, hands off. Fumble! Did they get on it? I think Dixie got it.
They sure do.
Landing on top of that one was number 44 for the Flyers. Trevin Aldridge.
Yeah, there was great penetration by Dixie on the quarterback handoff exchange, which caused that fumble, and Aldridge just right place, right time, falls on it. So if you're Dixie, what great field position right here on their own 23 going in.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, huh? So the Flyers, let's see what they can do with this great field position at the 24. Oh, and it's a fumble. He's just going to land on top of it, takes it back down to the 35.
Boy, what a huge loss. That's a 10-yard loss, just like that. And what happened was he just got a little too excited in trying to get rid of the ball. That's Schultz. He took his eye off the ball. And, it is early season, so you can't sometimes expect to see some of those quirky things.
Yeah.
But, man, that's a huge loss.
That's a big loss. So Jalen Schultz on second down with a lot to go, about 20. He's going to hand off to Christian. Christian will fall forward for about a yard gain. That's about it. 7:44 on the clock, and it's still rolling. It's 14-13. Dixie still has a lot of time left on this clock that they either can work at extending that lead or at least just trying to protect it. A lot of time left.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're almost at the 33-yard line. Wouldn't they go for it, on fourth down?
Sure.
Try to eat more clock.
Snap, handed off. Christian's got some room to run. He pushes forward. Decent gain there by Jeffrey Christian. He goes down to the 21-yard line. Gets it back inside of the chains, though. That's the best thing you want to see right there on that third down. And if anything, they're well within field goal territory, so they could extend this lead to be at least a 4-point lead right here.
Boy, that was a delayed counter, and what they did is they pulled the guard and the tackle from the left side, and he just followed them right up into the hole perfectly and picked up big yardage.
Contemplated going for it there on a 4th and 7. I think this is the smart move, is bring out that kicking team because, again, go up by 4, make them have to score a touchdown.
Yep.
6:30 on the clock. It's 14-13. Dixie leads. So a score here puts them up that 17 points that they need.
Good.
And that one looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, Bibiano
Boy, he's
is
got a
killing
heck
it.
of a leg.
He may end up being our player of the game.
We're good.
Bibiano is just absolutely tearing it up. Not to mention the fact that not only did he put two field goals, one of them didn't count because he got hit. The other one went through, and he still got hit, but they counted it because it was at the end of it was the extra point on that one.
Well, and people will go, how can he be player of the game? Well, when he kicks off, he kicks it out of the end zone.
Hey, he also made a field goal on a kickoff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that was also on the 45-yard line in Riverton territory, but it was, and he still made it.
He's got quite the leg, I'll tell you.
It is a 55-yard field goal that you get to run up on a little bit more than you normally would.
Well, and
that's
the
all you can look
cool
at
thing for Dixie is he's only a junior.
I know he's got some time left in him.
Yeah, he's got the kind of leg that the next level coaches are looking for.
So Desert Hills is rolling. I like to hear that as this kick is away, and it's going to go into the back of the end zone again. He's just feeling it. He's just hot right now. He's loving this.
I'm telling you, those teal cleats are giving him. They're like magic beans in his shoe.
Desert Hills looking to see if they can tie this one up against Cedar Valley. They're inside their red zone as well, so.
Well, whatever halftime speech Coach gave him over at Desert Hills tonight, it must have really worked. It was a good one.
Coach Barry was got in their heads a little and said, let's do this, huh?
Yeah.
Hands off to Perry. Perry finds a decent hole. He gets his shoe wrapped up, and then he's taken hostage by a bunch of Flyers there. So he'll get wrapped up short of the first down marker by about 2 yards.
Yeah, again, they just do a kind of like a counter tray action. You know, again, they pull the right and the tackle on the left guard and pull him around to the left side, and he just runs right behind him, and he picked up 9 yards. He's a good-looking running back.
Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Here you go on 2nd and 1. It's back to Perry. He's going to be taken down in the backfield.
Well, he fought forward, and he ended up getting.
Oh, there's going to be a flag after the call. Guess who is number 69? He just stepped right over and kicked one of the Flyers. If you're watching the stream, you can see it kind of clear as day. He just kind of steps on over them and gives them a little kick in the side. That's Faletau.
Faletau's got to.
And on a second and you're short right there. You know, 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2 or so. You can't be doing those.
15 yards at this point of the game. It's just. That's a killer. And now you can see number 11 going over to talk to him because he's wanting to get after that number 6. Oh, but they're calling it
they're going to call it on the defense. Interesting.
Braden Wilson. Wow.
See, and I just saw him stepping over and kicking him, and that's when the flag got thrown.
Well, you can see the big fella. He's looking over to the Dixie line saying, hey. So something we must have missed something.
There must have been some words first or something that the officials heard, and then the retaliation came later. Interesting.
Well, there you go. Just
Desert
like
Hills, ties it up. 21-21 over there for Desert Hills and Cedar Valley. It's a U first down here. Perry is going to get wrapped up and taken down for just a short gain, 2 yards.
Boy, that was a great time. That was Aisa Lepatai, who just flew through the hole. He's the middle linebacker. You can't miss him. He's got the hair flowing, outside of his helmet, and he just wrapped him up for a short gain.
2nd down, 8 to go. They're resetting the time on the clock a little bit.
We got 5:03 left here in the fourth quarter.
Flyers lead this one 17-13. Now, one thing we're looking for is our Holbrook Asphalt Big Score Dessert, where if any team scores 25 points or more, you can head on over to Yogurtland, get your first 5 ounces free. Rolling out to his left. There's a flag on the play. A little bit of a gain, though, by Jake Myers, but, again, the flag comes well before the play ends. So let's see what the officials have to say about this one.
Well, Myers was rolling to his left, and then it looked like Perry was out there leading the way for him a little bit, but he held on to the defensive end, number 52 for Dixie. That was Brian Cherry, and they just wouldn't let him go. Cherry did a great job fighting the block, and finally the ref threw the flag. That's going to be a huge penalty. That'll be a 13-yard holding.
So that'll bring it back quite a ways now for the Silver Wolves. Dixie really is holding them well, but the Silver Wolves just making some mistakes right now down the stretch.
Turnovers and penalties, they'll kill you every time, Caden.
Absolutely. All right, so here we go again. Offsides. That's going to be against Dixie this time. Fault start on that's Anthony Crichton.
I don't mean to sound rude, but how hard is it to watch the ball? You got them backed up. It's first or second and 25, 30 yards, and now you give them 5 yards back.
Well, and I'll come to his defense and say he wasn't. He was watching his guy that he's trying to defend, and he went in motion. And the second he went in motion,
But Caden, he's a down lineman.
I know.
All you got to do is watch that ball.
Snaps away, and play's called dead.
Yep. No, they
This
had
one's another penalty.
Yep. It's going to go against Riverton. It's going to go back to 5
Yep,
yards. So
take it on back.
we're just going to pretend that.
So we went from second and long to second and a lot longer.
Yeah.
It was second and 16. Let's see where they put it now.
Boy, Riverton just doesn't look comfortable in the pass game, do they?
No, not really. And that's the thing we've kind of mentioned in our pregame show, talking in the Findlay Subaru pregame show, was they were going to rely on the run game. And they have. Easton Hicks, Luke Perry specifically, have all done quite well in the running game.
But look at the size of some of the receivers. They've got good size. They just don't execute in the pass game.
Here goes the pass. Almost wraps him up, but taken down for a short gain. It was second and 21. It'll still be second and long, only a 3-yard gain there as Jake Myers had a couple of good moves. I'm not going to lie. He actually looked okay there on his feet, but he was scrambling just to make anything happen on that, what should have been a pass play.
Caden, that was Kolo Lynn, a young sophomore. Dixie
In
playing
on
a
that
lot
tackle,
of young kids, yeah.
I like it.
I like
this
that
is,
first
And this is
name.
one thing that Dixie does well, is get some young guys some playing time, some rotational minutes. So by the time they're seniors, they're just great. They're really good at what they do. 3rd and 18 now. Silver Wolves take the snap, rolls out to his right. Myers tries to dump it off over to Hicks. Brings it across. Easton Hicks evades one tackle. He's going.
He got the first down.
He's close. He's close. They'll put him just shy, 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Boy, what a great play call. They rolled the quarterback out to the right side of the field, threw it all the way back for a tight end screen, and picked up, 23 yards on that pass play?
They picked up a lot of yards, I'll tell you that. Here's the snap. He's got his pass away, and he dropped it on a 4th and 2. He dropped the pass. No one around him.
Boy, I can't explain it. Hit him in the hands and everything.
He did everything right. He was wide open. It hit him perfectly, and he just lost it. Wow, that is a big swing here for the Flyers. With 3:25 left to go in this game, it's 17-13. Flyers are leading this one, and now they get the ball back on a first down.
Boy, Ken, that's hard to explain. I mean, he's wide open, did a little 6-yard curl route. All you had to do is bring the ball into your hands. You know, you say, watch the ball, tuck the ball. And he just
hit his hands, and he just kind of spiked it down to the ground a little bit.
Man.
Barbin trying to get him on a fake. Schultz going to keep it himself, though, on this one.
Yeah, no
Not
gain
much
there.
of a game, maybe half a yard.
Boy, I'd like to see him get in that same formation, Caden. They bring Barbin in motion, and they pull the safety over, so the whole wide side of the field is wide open.
When you have Watson over there, who's a
shot.
great receiver, if you even get him on a crossing route or something where he kind of cuts back in towards your quarterback, so you can just line it in there,
or even a deep in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of options.
The middle of that field is wide open. That's why I say I wouldn't be surprised if they come back to that on 3rd and long or something here, just to run that same motion to draw that safety over. If they catch him in that same defense, that's open for a big play.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Well,
So here you go, 2nd and 9 here. A little bit of a timeout taken. Another Fabulous Freddy's fabulous timeout. By the way, one thing that I did a lot last year, stop by Fabulous Freddy's on my way home. It was right there on Bluff Street, so good location on Bluff and over on River Road as well.
Well, Fabulous Freddy's, they've been around forever. They great supporter not only of high school athletics, but also the college here at Utah Tech. So,
yeah,
love their support.
2nd and 9 for the Flyers. In motion is Barbin. This time it's going to be handed off, going right up the middle. Haven't said this name in a while. It's Russell making his way through.
That was Christian.
Was that Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Christian. I thought I was seeing 23, not 21.
Here you are getting all excited to call
I know.
his name.
I miss saying his name. He's doing some good stuff. Silas Russell, but hey, it was Christian. I saw the 21. It looked like a 23 for a minute.
He's a lot
can I
bigger.
say?
He's a lot
bigger.
Yeah, Silas is a little smaller guy.
This one back to Christian.
Oh.
Ooh, he's hit hard. That's number 9, Gage Watt.
Yeah, that's a great play by Watt. He just closed in there, and maybe a half a yard gain on that play. Great stop there in the hole.
Brings up 4th down. with 2 to go here.
2:19 on the clock. Clock running right now.
Clock is running. 17-13 Flyers lead. What are they going to do with it? Right now, the offense is still out on the field. What do you do in this situation? Part of me says just get the ball as far downfield as you can.
You know what, Caden? If it was me, I would punt it.
That's what I'm saying.
Your defense has done such a great job in the second half.
They let it run down, yeah. They let it run down to 159 as far as they could. They'll take the timeout and get their punting unit out on the field, I'm sure. So we'll take a quick 30 seconds ourselves, shall we? And be back here with you in just a bit here from Flyer Field. 17-13 Flyers lead this one on St. George News Radio. To Dixie High School. Dixie leading this one 17-13 across town. Desert Hills is tied up 21-21, but we got a minute 59 here left to go in this one. The Flyers are going to punt this one away on a 4th and 2, which again, I think is the right play.
Absolutely. You just got to get a good snap, and there they go.
It's a little low, but they do get it away. It's high. That's not a bad place to put it.
Perfect.
Look at that. That is one. Oh, you got to get to it. Get to it. They put it at the 1 yard line.
Wow. They almost waited too long to get to that ball.
Bibiano, player of the game, easily. Appliance Wholesaler Plus, Playmaker, player of the game.
Wow.
I'm calling it right now, shall we?
Well,
wow.
Unless Riverton comes back with some theatrics here, I would have to agree with you. What a great kick.
That is the best punt I've seen so far this season in the couple of games that I've been to. So maybe it might hold up. That was beautiful.
Well, if you're Riverton, you got 99 yards to pull this one out. If not, it's going to be a long ride home.
They officially mark it at the 2. So they got a 98-yard field to go, and they got a minute 46 to do it. Let's see what Riverton can pull off here as they're standing in the end zone for the Flyers. Myers takes the snap. He's going to go with a pass. Not there. Incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Boy, that was a good job by Dixie. They got some pressure that time. They blitzed the middle linebacker from the short side of the field, knowing that there wasn't a lot of room there, and they had to get rid of that pass quickly.
1:41 on the clock, 17-13. Snap, it's pass play again. They're going to go deep up the middle. No one is there at all. Well overthrown. Blake Watson was closer to it than any other receiver, so.
Yeah, they were trying to get Mason Dunfield on a deep out and up, and that was just great coverage that time from Dixie, like you mentioned.
The clock will stop at 1:35 on that incompleted pass. But again, now 3rd and 10. And no matter what, they're going for it.
Oh, yeah, they got him.
You know, I mean, obviously 3rd down, but if they don't convert here, you have to keep going for it.
With only 1:35 left, they got him. Yeah.
Myers in the gun, takes the snap. Again, looking to pass. Going outside. He's got a guy wide open. 1st down and a lot more. Spins out of it. Falls down. Logan Dunfield on the reception. The 6'4 receiver gets down to the 26, 27-yard line. Oh, they're going to push him all the way up to the 29. 1:25, clock rolling. Snap is away. Myers looking to pass. Pressure coming, and he's sacked, brought down in the backfield.
Boy, what
34 and 32 on that one. 32 was Cash Carlisle. 44, Trevin Aldridge.
Trevin Aldridge had a great game tonight, but again, that's great. In this point of the game, you can't take a sack. There's too much time can run off. He's got to throw that ball and get it out of bounds. But
yeah, a timeout taken, by the way, at 1:17. We'll keep it locked in right here. 17-13 as the Flyers lead this one. But again, some great defense there, getting the sack. Aldridge is a name we've called a lot. He might end up being one of our defensive player of the games, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that coming up in the postgame show. But Yeah, that was one heck of a defensive play.
Well, when you're under a minute or 2 minutes left, you cannot, as a quarterback, take a sack for that kind of loss because the field is not your friend. You're trying to get upfield as much as you can, and you got to know the time and the right play. Unfortunately for Riverton, that was a big sack taken by Myers.
So a second down, 20 to go. Remember, they started this drive on the 98-yard line, we'll say, since they got to punch this thing into the end zone.
On the 2-yard line.
Yeah. I like saying on the 98, though. Makes it sound fun. They did start on the 2. Passes away. It's caught.
Boy, what a great catch. That was thrown behind. That was behind Perry. He reaches back with a left hand. We've seen that twice tonight.
He's definitely one of the better players on that team for them offensively.
Boy, what a great catch.
Third down, 8 to go, 1 minute on the clock, and it's still ticking. Looking to get a pass away right down the middle. Does he have his guy? He does. It's a first down.
Boy, I love that throw, too. He threw that Mahomes like that was sidearm, 3/4.
Little sidearm, yeah.
Did a nice job just waiting for him to come across the middle of the field to get open.
They're going to try to save that timeout and just work their way down the field. It's 44 seconds on the clock, still rolling. Myers going deep. Does he have a guy? Not there. Incomplete. The sideline's looking for a flag. No flag comes.
Well, the reason why there's no flag, there was a little contact, but number 4 from Dixie, that's Caden Cooper. He turned his head around, and he looked for the ball and made a play on the ball, so that, that's why they didn't throw the flag.
Yep.
Really good defense.
But it does stop the clock. 36 seconds left to go in this game as Dixie still leads at 17-13. Second and 10 here from the 43-yard line.
Boy, big 44 out there. Trevin Aldrich, he's gassed. He's bent over. He's giving it everything he's got tonight.
Here we go, second and 10. Myers in the gun. Snap is away. Here comes the rush. Pass out. Well overthrown, incomplete. That'll bring up third and 10, 29 seconds stopped on the clock. So Cedar Valley, 28-21 now over the Thunder as they were able to sneak in a field goal. So,
well, great response from Cedar Valley after the Thunder reel off 21 straight points to tie it up. Well, here's the play of the game. Well, it's third down. I was thinking it's fourth down. Sorry, Caden.
Yeah, third and 10. Myers in the backfield by himself. Takes the snap. He's looking to pass. Rolling out. Goes deep again. Swatted down by Chet Atkinson.
Boy, he had an opportunity. I thought he could have picked it and the game would have been over, but instead he chose to knock it down, which is the safe play. But a great defensive play that time by Atkinson.
Stops the clock at 22 seconds. It is 4th and 10. Now, if this isn't one of those Bose Auto Parts crucial parts of the game, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
This is a big play right here. A conversion and then stopping the clock potentially can put you somewhere where you can score. But again, they have to go for a touchdown. You can't get a field goal here. You're down by 4, 17-13. Riverton seeing if they can somehow make something happen.
Look in the middle of the field.
Rolling out. Pressure coming. Passes away. Has he got his guy?
Yes. That's Logan
right at
Dunfield.
the 41-yard line. They convert and get out of bounds. Stops the clock at 13 seconds. Riverton stays alive.
Great job by Dunfield, dragging his feet as he's falling out of bounds. So excellent play there. So they still got life. 13 seconds left here, Caden.
So the officials tell him to put 14 seconds on the clock. 17-13 here. Riverton has 41 yards to go. This has been maybe one of their better drives they've had. But again, the rush isn't coming so hard. They're trying to cover that deep ball as Myers dumps it off to Perry. Perry with a little room to run, gets some yards on that, but is eventually taken down. 4 seconds on the clock.
They called timeout.
Called timeout, though.
Boy, what a gutsy play by Myers, he's falling down as he's getting hit, flips it to Perry. Perry alertly was aware and picked up real good positive yardage, 9 yards. So they got a chance to go to the end zone right here on the last play. Wow, what an ending.
Speechless. 6 seconds left on the clock now is where they officially put it at. Again, this one, Dixie leading 17-13. Riverton has to score a touchdown in the next 6 seconds to even stay alive in this game.
Well, I'm thinking they got to go to the end zone on this play. They don't have, usually it takes between 6 to 8 seconds per play. So this will be the last play, I think, of the game.
Not unless you do some sort of quick out route, but what's that going to do for you, right? You kind of have to go deep. So Dixie, defense out on the field. Riverton bringing their offense out for what could be the last play of the game. And this crowd is getting into it. Can you hear those feet, huh?
Yeah, we got a little rumbling going here underneath us.
Here we go, Myers in the gun. He takes the snap. He's looking out to pass. The defense goes back on it. Passes away. Does he have anyone there? Intercepted, and that is the game.
Wow, what an ending.
Atkinson again on the play. Seals the win for the Flyers.
What a great win for Dixie tonight.
And he's still down on the ground. He's not feeling great, but emotionally, probably feeling all right. Physically,
he's exhausted.
He's still on the ground, so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's nothing too serious out there. They still have him on the ground.
Wow, I'm almost speechless, Caden. What a heck of an ending here tonight at Dixie Flyer Field as Dixie picks off a pass in the end zone to seal the victory.
Amazing. That's crazy. So Dixie wins this one 17-13. They get their first win of the season and give the Riverton Silverwolves their first loss as well. So let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll head on into our post-game show right here on St. George News Radio coming up.
I'll get you guys famous.
All right. Here to our game of the week on St. George News Radio. Dixie Flyers get the win over the Riverton Silverwolves. The final score is 17-13. It's Caden Formaster here and Keith Curtis. All right, Keith, let's get into the postgame show, shall we?
Let's do it.
First of all, kind of recapping some of those keys to the game. One thing that we kind of talked about was covering the pass game. And if there's anything that we've seen, especially from the last couple of plays, Chet Atkinson covered it well.
Yeah, the Flyer defense played fantastic that whole second half, holding Riverton to 3 points. And that was the key to the game, I thought, coming into it. How will the tackling hold up? How will they stop the run? They did a great job, and especially in the second half.
One thing that we didn't really see a lot of from Dixie, though, was big passing plays in itself. I don't know if we saw anything over more than, maybe 15 yards? Rarely.
Oh, yeah.
And rarely we saw anything.
3 passing yards in the second half is all they had. They ran the ball the whole time.
Right. So that kind of was their bread and butter. It worked out for them, especially down the stretch where they were able to snag in a couple of touchdowns. So, like we say, at the end, it worked out for them.
Yeah. Can't complain about that. I mean, the way it worked out for them. And they needed a win like this after getting kind of throttled last week against Springville. This is a big win. I mean, it's a 6A program from up in Salt Lake. They got twice, maybe not quite twice as many kids. It's still, this is a big win for Dixie.
It's huge. It's a huge win for Dixie. So, I'm curious to see where this brings them because, as we mentioned